The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Dwight!
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this WrestleMania Thursday, April 4th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports!
Are wonderful. Sports never stop sporting, and what is sports? Well, it's obviously the competition that's happening on the court or the field or in the pool or on the track, or you get it, wherever sports are taking place, but it's also everything happening around it, like decisions for the future, the drama, and the personalities that make up the sport. And today we have a lot of that to chat about. We're not going to be alone, no. We got some incredible guests today. PK Subban will be joining us in about 10 minutes or so to talk about hockey. Hockey is awesome. Last night, hockey had something happen that, although it has happened in the past before, every time it happens, it's electrifying.
Yep.
As soon as the puck was dropped to start the game, all 10 dudes on the ice started fighting each other.
Love it.
Okay? Now, goalies did not, which
We don't.
One of them tried.
we will ask PK Subban about, but the Rangers and the Devils last night proved that hockey is the only sport that's left that isn't scared to go ahead and throw some hands.
Yeah.
Settle some businesses. Check happened an elbow to the head happened about 3 weeks ago from that big, tall 73 fella to the New Jersey Devils player. And since then, there has been a little comeuppance, maybe thought. As soon as the game starts, 10 fights happen. We'll talk to PK Subban about that and also everything else happening around the hockey world. Who do we need to be watching? Because hockey is awesome. In the second hour, we'll be joined by Dwight Freeney, former teammate of mine, now Hall of Famer. Can't wait to chit-chat with him about his life, what he has going on. How excited he was whenever he found out he's going to have that gold jacket and that bust in Canton for the rest of the time. Oh, good teammate, this guy. Hey,
Great teammate.
great teammate.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, well, absolutely revolutionary on the field as well. He's the one that potentially developed chip block. Bill Belichick and the boys up there in New England developed a chip block allegedly to stop Dwight Freeney because of how fast he was coming out of Syracuse. People thought he was undersized. Oh, now he's a Hall of Famer. And as a teammate, he was always there, invited everybody to everything, took care of people, and obviously had more money than everybody else.
Sure.
Because of how much money he had earned in the entire thing. Was not scared to use it on a teammate. Good teammate, great teammate. Happy for him. Can't wait to chat with him. No reason to roughhouse Kurt Warner like that.
Yeah, American
That we
Underdog.
just saw. That's American Underdog. He didn't know his full story. But him and Robert Mathis literally were just closers. I was at this game. It was awesome. Fourth quarter. That's game over. They just won the game. Let me walk it off. They loved him here in Indy. Can't wait to chat with him. Third hour, we'll have Kelsey Plum on.
Okay.
Obviously, WNBA champion multiple time with the Las Vegas Aces. It's no longer their league. Sorry about it. It's Fever's league.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Caitlin Clark's coming to town. What does she think about Caitlin Clark, the Women's March Madness, and everything happening around it? Can't wait to catch up with her. I think we'll also be joined by a friend of the program here in a matter of moments. The Talks Table is here. At Boss Connor, at Ty Schmidt. I see the Rhino. Hey, Rhino is a territorial animal.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that Rangers-Devils game. Had that on just casually on the TV.
10 rhinos on the ice.
Bingo. And I wasn't expecting anything. I was like, hey, I'm just going to have the game on. Why not? This is the season, again, like football, where you need a couple TVs because NHL playoffs are happening soon. NBA playoffs are happening soon. And all of a sudden, madness. I mean, that is why hockey is great. Could you imagine if on an NFL kickoff?
What about NBA?
NBA, yeah, opening tip. That happens.
Ref throws the ball up, okay? Because that's what puck drops. There is a puck on the ice there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nobody even
Start the game.
No, they drop the. All right, here, start the game. You guys ready? Yep, ready. Yep, drops the puck. Yep,
Right.
nobody cares.
Nope.
Goal, boys.
Everybody on the ice does not care
No.
that there is a puck live on the ice and the game just started. And everybody in Madison Square Garden there is like, yes. Here's the angle from the top of MSG with the view of all 10 people. There's two guys, I think, on the Devils that thought maybe they weren't getting in a fight. They started skating away, and it was like, no, oh, okay. We're all doing this thing. Love it. Couldn't even fathom this in the NBA. As soon as the ball gets thrown up by one of those refs.
Jersey's off.
Throws up. All right, here we go.
Jokic, awesome.
Imagine that NBA arena. The whole place would be like, oh,
yeah.
We got a 7-foot tall dude fighting a 7'2" tall dude right in front of us with a couple scrappy guards underneath. Coaches were chirping a little bit last night in hockey.
Big time.
They were maybe going to go ahead and jump the glass as there was 8 dudes in a penalty box. Here, look at, is that Peter?
Yeah, it's Laviolette.
In the middle there, just going, all right, well, yeah, I'm hearing what he's saying. What? Darren Pang is his name in the middle. Shout out to him. Great bald head. Fantastic bald head there. He's in the middle. Coaches almost started brawling. Hockey, listen, if you're not going to watch the sport, that coach's been around forever.
Yeah, yes. That's Peter Laviolette.
Hey, what you think this was? What you think was going to happen here?
Surprise?
I love everything about it. I love everything. The sport, though, there's some hockey purists that get all pissed off, like, that's not what hockey is. This ain't there's no room for this in the game. I want to let you know, as somebody that did grow up in hockey town, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and is a hockey fan, my 30th birthday was a Pittsburgh Penguins-themed birthday. I am a hockey fan, but I'm not a guy who can skate. Okay, and I didn't play, and I'm not from Canada, so I think you definitely kind of draw me. But you get me on the deck. Okay, I got some clap bombs if you need it in this entire thing. The hockey purists don't necessarily love it. I want to let you know love it.
All about it.
And it's great for the game, too.
Yeah.
Last night, there was a bunch of people that were like, I didn't know this is how hockey? A lot of that on the internet. It's like, yes, hockey is old school, but hockey is also 20, 30 miles an hour on ice, flying around, dangles talent, competitive edge. Like everything about the sport itself is beautiful. The fact that they have that as an entree is also a beautiful thing. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys tone. Diggs, is your tone. How you doing, Paul?
Great, you?
Not too bad. I think the future of college sports has been something that's been in question, for a little bit now. Last couple of years, we've been in the middle of a transition era. A lot of people saying, why does the NCAA even exist? To get mad about a hamburger? Okay. To say something dumb. To keep a guy off the field for no reason. What's the NCAA's true purpose at this point? Why don't they just create a league that moves the NCAA the hell out of the way? Well, the internet was abuzz last night as College Sports Tomorrow was revisited, which is basically the vision of a super league with 70 teams with a bunch of different divisions. Bottom division is for the low ones. You can get relegated, delegated, going through that whole thing. There'll be TV deals. There'll be revenue sharing. And there's a guy who's the right-hand man business-wise of Roger Goodell, Brian Rollup, who's actually involved in this. So hold on. Hold the phone.
Okay.
Is there all of a sudden a league coming to the future that is a professional league that is involving college sports and universities that, maybe moves the NCAA the hell out of the way, and now we understand a little bit clearer picture going forward. With this, there'd be free agency periods. There'd probably be rules on contracts. There'd be a salary cap. There'd be times in which you could do stuff. It would mimic what's probably happening in the NFL, and the NFL would also finally have a feeder system. Now, what does that mean for all the other sports, though? We're just talking football. Well, it's called College Sports Tomorrow, so you would assume that there'd be some sort of development for other sports. Now, would those sports have to make money for a professional league to potentially be in there? Yes.
For sure.
What does that mean for everything else? Who knows? Joining us right now is a man who might know what the hell's going on. The authority of college football, formerly the authority of college basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Thamel. Pete, nice fountain. It's nice to see you in your backyard there. How you doing, pal?
I'm good, Pat. Just got to Phoenix for the Final Four.
Okay.
So this is at the hotel. I don't, in South Boston, Massachusetts, have a fountain in my backyard. I don't actually have a backyard. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. I just assumed you had a nice big sprayer, Pete.
Yeah, like the White House.
Palatial estate.
Yeah, I felt there was a 3 to 4 minute drive down a driveway to Pete Thamel's house.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Gate open,
Paparazzi.
the authorities home. Yeah, sorry. Not today. All the way back. That might have been your backyard. Okay, thank you for clearing it up. And obviously you're in Phoenix. What are we even talking about?
Yeah, come on.
Obviously you're in Phoenix for the Final Four. You will never stop. But let's go back to what we were just chatting about, College Sports Tomorrow. And I think whenever we hear from the NFL world that one of Roger Goodell's tag team partners, Brian Rollup's involved, we're like, well, it's going to work because that's kind of how this whole thing goes. What are our thoughts on this? What do you know that we don't know about this? And how optimistic should we feel about this potentially being the future of college sports?
Well, I think, Pat, this article emerging today, and we wrote something about this, although we didn't call it a super league about 6 weeks ago, is that the future of college sports is very uncertain. In the fact that private equity and big hitters like Brian Rolap and David Blitzer, who's a big time guy who's involved in sports ownership of a bunch of professional teams, the fact that they are essentially circling around college sports right now is indicative of the weakness. There is no future. You're 100% right. We're obviously lucky, Pat. Week in, week out, we get to talk to a lot of the big brains, as you call them, around college sports, right? And I can talk to all these commissioners, coaches, athletic directors, really, really bright people. If I called 50 of them right now and said, hey, what's college sports going to look like in 2 years? No one's going to know the answer. Now, this is a potential answer, and these people are gathering because they smell opportunity, right? Like it's very simple. They are not gathering for benevolence here, right? They're gathering because they think that college sports are an undervalued asset. So, do I think this sports super league, as it's laid out, is going to work? No, I don't. The paradigm that they've pitched people, if you will, has changed a few times to try to fit the current model. But I think the ultimate thesis of why it doesn't work drills down to this: if Greg Sankey, but they don't want conferences, right? So if you're going to try to X out Greg Sankey, Tony Petitti, and then the two major television partners for both those networks, to then go back and get more lucrative television deals for the schools, it just doesn't seem to add up.
All right, Pete. We appreciate the hell out of you, pal. That seems like anything else you have on the subject that we need to know?
No, I mean, look, we're going to be at a time where change is coming, and it's going to be drastic. And I can't see around the corner right now to where it's coming from. Pat, is it going to be Congress? Is it going to be the settlement of this House case, where there is some type of payment model through the settlement of the case that allows players to get paid? Right, like things are going to look drastically different in 2 years, and players are finally going to get a piece of the action. The mechanism of how that's set up is a grand mystery and to be determined.
Okay, so this feels like this is one attempt. Yeah. This is one group's attempt to potentially fix it. There will be others. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Dahn. Thank you.
Pete!
All right, about 6 weeks ago, we wrote about this. Seems like they're coming back now with another angle, and that means like Roll-Op's team and them are very interested in being the answer. Let us figure this out for the future. We all know there's a problem. But him saying that everybody's circling around is because they sense a weakness and they can figure it out. If they figure it out, they know that this is a very profitable. This is like what the PIF did with Liv. Whenever they heard about the PGA's weaknesses. Nobody makes any money. There's actually no guaranteed contracts. There's no guys are actually losing money going and playing in these tournaments. But the PGA, and they're like, oh, we can fix that. Here we go. Here's guaranteed money. We can do this. That's what everybody's going to be trying to do for the college football. This particular group here that has been written about a couple of times now, I guess, they have Roger Goodell's right-hand man. They're having a relegation delegation at the bottom of the conference. Here's all the 70 Power 5 schools, seemingly. I assume they're guaranteeing a certain amount of money for everybody. Here's how this will work. This division plays this division. You can do it all, but what he said there about Greg Sankey would then be just
exactly never gonna happen.
We know, just a nobody.
Now Petitti, obviously, he carries a big hammer.
Yes, he does.
And we saw that this past year.
Yes, we
did.
Big
one.
Petitti was doing things that Petitti's predecessor or predecessors had never really thought about doing. But Petitti said, "Excuse me,
this is my job now.
You're in my conference." To the national champions.
Right.
Yes.
Now, so I think Petitti will hold a lot of weight because obviously he runs the Big Ten, which if you think football-wise, this sucks for the ACC. I do apologize.
Big time.
And for the Big 12, I'm not happy. It's West Virginia's conference. Now, Gordon Gee, who is the president of WVU, he said, we're in on this one.
Needed.
I assume Gordon Gee's potentially going to be in on some other ones too, because we're in Big 12 and nobody really knows what the future of a lot of these conferences look like. So there's going to be a lot of different options, what Pete Thamel basically said there, as opposed to this just being the only option.
Yeah, that's what's tough is the Big Ten and the SEC have so much power. So and we initially when they talked about doing this thing, it was like, hey, Greg Sankey should be one of the guys under consideration to run the whole thing. So if you think there's going to be some sort of plan where it's like, okay, Sankey, well, you did great, kind of ushering us into this era, but so long, that is not going to happen. I can guarantee that. So, I mean, we'll see. It's nice that they've at least started to get the ball rolling, though. It seems like this kind of thing kind of opens the door for other people to be like, okay, well, let's come up with our best plan of action as well.
But to his point about the two networks that have the two deals,
that's the whole thing that I didn't get.
There's a lot of money there. There's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
Which games are there?
Right.
Because remember, Peacock came in with the Big Ten deal.
Yeah.
But Fox still owned a majority of the Big Ten deal.
And CBS.
And CBS.
They got the afternoon slot.
So it's like, what's available? How's it available? How are you going to go about refunding that money? Maybe it's just a big makeup of the money, but then what is ESPN and Fox? ESPN and Fox are just going to, and CBS are just going to go, and NBC are going to go, okay, yeah, we'll pay more now for like.
It's not how business works.
That's not how.
I don't know how it all comes together. If it was a perfect plan with the perfect people involved, I think a lot of people would be much more wide open to it. But who is the perfect group to decide what this is going to be? That's going to be debated now.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot more questions than answers, but what we do know is there are groups of people now trying to put together their plan and meet with people in positions of power, which we appreciate this group doing, trying to make this thing happen. But this is just one of many, is seemingly what Pete is saying.
Yeah, hopefully, if anything, like they learn from the PGA in the PIF situation. Like the NCAA should look at this and be like, okay, if this is going to happen and continue to happen, and if Thamel wrote about this six weeks ago, and this is going to be something that's going to be a conversation no matter what because these people want it, they should hopefully be like, hey, PIF got all these guys out of PGA. We can't have that happen with any of our athletes. Let's just take their model and use it.
How about, though, that College Sports Tomorrow 6 weeks ago? All right, didn't catch on.
Nope.
All right, let's go to a drier time in sports media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's drum up a little bit more here. Boom, it's coming. Maybe more people catch on. Maybe more people get behind it. Maybe the public, because if you win the mob, you win Rome.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real thing, especially whenever it comes to TV ratings and entertainment and everything like that. So taking another shot at it, I appreciate it. I'm excited to see what the next group is trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because this is Roger Goodell's right hand. This is the NFL's team kind of coming together here. Now, we have been told from source says that Roger Goodell is not involved in this at all. The man, Brian Rolap, potentially, because his kid, I think he's in Michigan, he's got a kid coming in high school, so like the future of college football is something that is very interesting. Like, I'm not saying he wants to make it right, I think, for the good of his kids. Now, is there a vested interest as well, business-wise?
Sure.
Well, he's the NFL's business, one of the
Yes.
So
always.
There's certainly something in there, but we have been told from source says that Roger Goodell is not, just because this guy is a part of it doesn't mean Roger Goodell's a part of it, because as soon as I read that, I was like, well, if Roger Goodell's a part of this, they need to do this tomorrow. But Roger Goodell not involved with this. His right-hand man, Brian Rolap.
Yeah, and if college football, like, they're dipping their toe in right now to being professional, and you can't just dip your toe in. Like, if players are going to get paid in whatever manner it is, whether it's from the school or whatever it is, you're gonna have to go. Let's just go fully professional, so that there is the guardrails, there is boundaries and stuff like that. And Connor said, learning from the PIF and the PGA situation, Rolap has been a name that's been thrown out a ton to take over that new organization that's gonna be formed. So like, you would think that he would be looking at that situation and then also seeing this college football situation and be like, oh yeah, these two are very similar.
Very similar, yeah. And instead of players, you're talking about schools.
Yeah.
And it's I'll be excited to see how it pans out, because we could learn from what the fans have experienced with Live in PGA. Like, hey, what we don't like is this whole thing.
Split.
We can't be taking, like Bama and then not taking Tennessee.
Right.
Like, you can't, there can't be.
The college football product is incredible right now.
Yeah, we
it's
can't,
so good.
Can't be, this has to be a.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody.
As opposed to what happened with Live, where it was just like some going.
Yeah, you gotta have.
This has to be a full thing, which they will obviously learn from. In the future will hopefully be brighter for the student human athletes.
That's right.
Now, speaking of athletes, 10 of them brawled last night as soon as the puck dropped. We teased it at the beginning. It was the real deal. Now, the internet goes, holy hell, I forgot that hockey has this as a part of the game. As soon as the puck drops, start Rangers Devils last night, everybody on the ice fought each other and the puck did not matter. Joining us right now, ladies and gentlemen, 13-year NHL vet, Olympic gold medalist with Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban. Yeah, Canada. Yeah, you did it. We get it. Okay, all right, let's move. Poutine, not bad. I get it. There's a lot of good shit. Okay, Oven, very weird.
Yep,
definitely.
We don't have to dive back into it all. But PK, great to see you, man. You look great. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Big story of the night, obviously, Rangers, Devils, all 10 men just fighting each other as soon as the puck drops. And even the ref knows it's coming. Let me get the hell out of the way here and let the boys do what they got to do. 4 refs on the ice, 5 different fights happening. Obviously, things are going to happen. This all started 3 weeks ago, or why does something like this happen? And how often is this kind of the start of a hockey game for those that might not know, PK?
Well, first of all, I mean, this is the most exciting thing in sports. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
I mean, I was supposed to be in the Garden for this game last night, and I got stranded here in Nashville because of bad weather, and I was pissed that I missed the game. But this is definitely some retribution for the hits on Siegenthaler and Bastion. And I thought, listen, these are old teammates of mine. So if you ask me personally, I don't want to see them ever get hit. But the one on Bastion I thought was a clean hit. He's a big guy. The one on Siegenthaler, questionable. But you know what? This is great for the game. We haven't seen something like this in the game in a really, really long time. And I thought, listen, it was a great game overall. Lots of goals in that game, lots of skill on display, but it boiled over. And you know what? Give Matt Rempe credit. He had to answer the bell, and he answered it. McDermott, this is the biggest guy he's fought since he's been in the league. The biggest guy and the most experienced guy that he's fought so far. So I thought he handled himself well. But the Battle of the Hudson's back. We need this in hockey. No question about it. This trumps everything in sports, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, Rangers, Devils, known rivalry, I'd assume, for the proximity and everything like that?
Well, I mean, listen, when I was playing in New Jersey, I was fighting in exhibition games. And you know this, Pat, as an athlete, nobody gives a shit about exhibition games. But when it comes to rivalries, when it's Rangers, Devils, Montreal Bruins, Rangers, Devils right now, I mean, we need this rivalry back. And I think it is back. We're going to see this more and more. And I think Peter Laviolette is the right coach for this. I think Travis Green's great. They played into it. But we need this. We need this emotion, this drama in hockey. It's an emotional sport. Let the guys go. If they want to fight, let them fight. It's not a problem. I'd like to not see all those guys get kicked out of the game, but those are the rules of the game. Look at the players loving it. Rempe's loving it. The fans love it. This is what hockey's all about. This is a part of the sport that we still need to protect and we still need to celebrate. And I'll tell you, look, there's respect. Guy's down. He's not hitting them. I love that. That's what you need. That's what the game's all about. And the players need to still have the flexibility to police the game themselves. There's still the game within the game, and I love what happened last night. I loved it. Who didn't like it?
Here's all the penalties.
Honestly.
Here's all the penalties from last night's game, obviously. 10-game misconduct. I mean, there's a lot going on there to immediately start the game, and I think we talked to Bettman a little bit where we're like, hey, the fighting, good for the game. Mm-hmm. He goes, we don't need the staged fighting. He said the staged fighting, not good. If it's going to happen naturally, I'll be excited to see his thoughts on that particular fight because that was comeuppance. That was, I'll be excited to see what his thoughts are on that actually, and if there is reason or if it's just, hey, this is how this whole thing goes.
Okay, so Pat, I'd have to agree with Gary. The stage fighting, there's an element to it that we probably don't need in the game, but I'm going to tell you something. Which fan doesn't want to see Rempe and McDermott square up?
Whole arena like this. As soon as it
on.
happens, whole arena. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what you think. It's exciting to watch. So, it's just you don't want it to take over the game and take away from the skill and what the NHL is all about. There's a ton of skill in the league right now. The game's at a better place than it's ever been in terms of the skill and the talent. But there's an element of toughness and testicular fortitude that goes into being a hockey player. And people need to understand that. People need to understand why these guys get paid millions of dollars to play this game. Because you know what? You put your body on the line every single time you step on that ice, and anything can happen. And I think that's the nature of the sport. We still got to protect it. I don't mind. If you're asking me, I don't mind tough guys, willing combatants, two willing guys that want to fight. Let them go. Once they're done, we drop the puck and let's go play.
It's a beautiful part. It used to be of society. Now, I don't think in society it should be happening, but in hockey...
Don't get me started, Pat.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I mean, back in the day, it always gets ruined because,
You settled it as men.
Everything, yeah, but then, you got people that are much better fighters taking on people that aren't fighters, and then things happen, and then all of a sudden nobody's allowed to fight anymore, and we all agree. We all agree. But it's much better than some of the alternatives that are happening nowadays whenever what used to happen. Anyways, hockey, it's a beautiful thing. Let's talk about hockey, NHL as a whole. I heard the Pittsburgh Penguins are all the way back. Is that accurate? Who do we need to be watching? And are the Pens all the way back? I love everything about it, PK.
Well, Sidney Crosby, as long as that guy's still breathing and he's still healthy, anything is possible. I will not rule that guy out or the Pittsburgh Penguins until that final buzzer goes and they're either in the playoffs or they're not. Sidney Crosby is still amongst the best players in the world, if not one of the best or the best right now. And we know what he's capable of doing. He can pull this team into the playoffs. And GOAT discussion, yeah, he's the GOAT of our generation. There's no question about it. He's in that conversation. And when you have generational talents like him, you don't count them out until they're out.
So the Pens going to make it or no? Big one tonight, right?
Huge.
Ooh, huge one tonight. Huge one tonight. And then Saturday on ESPN, we got Lightning and Pens as well. So all the games are big. But guys, can we imagine what that first round is going to be like in the National Hockey League playoffs? Like, there's going to be some good teams sent home. And I'm going to tell you right now, that East is wide open. So any of these teams to get in, whether it's Pittsburgh, Detroit, the Islanders, like, I wouldn't want to play the Islanders if they make it in. I wouldn't want to play Washington. I wouldn't want to play Pittsburgh. I wouldn't want to play Philly. So there's no easy games from here on in, boys.
Amen.
None.
That's what we're talking about. That's why hockey is awesome. Now, speaking of teams in the East, go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, PK, last time we talked to you, the Florida Panthers were an absolute wagon. Like, they could not be beat. Got a little bit cold, 2-7-1 in their last 10. Is this just like a, hey, let's get to the playoffs type situation? You think they'll be okay? Or is this legitimate concern for the Florida Panthers?
Panthers are dead.
Oh,
no. It's too warm for hockey down there anyway.
That's right.
Sorry about it.
I can't wait for the playoffs to start for all these fans that are worried about the Florida Panthers.
Well,
I am not worried about those guys at all because they're going to start eating nails anytime now. And come playoff time, if you're not ready for the toughness, the physicality, and the mentality that those guys bring, every single shift, every single moment, you're going to get spanked. So I'm not worried about the Florida Panthers. It's also this, too. They had a long run last season. They've had injuries. I'm not making an excuse for them, but it's long. Like, it's tough. It's a grind to get through an 82-game season and then go through the playoffs. And remember, they had a horrible seeding last year. I know they had some good fortune at the beginning of the playoffs, but 7-game series, long road to the Stanley Cup final last year for them. So they got to preserve energy and save that. They're waiting to get to the playoffs. There's no question. It's hard in games 75, 76, when you know you're in the playoffs, to go out and compete. And remember, everybody's playing for something right now. There's no easy games. Whether you're playing teams that are in the playoffs or not, everybody's playing for something. Guys are playing for jobs. So they'll amp themselves up to that level that they need to be at come playoffs. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, they'll go out there and
Yeah. Yep.
they'll go out there and they'll go out there.
Balut.
Yeah, that's what
They just probably need to get down to the elbow room in Fort Lauderdale and tie one on for one night, for a couple nights.
Best place.
That's what they need to do, honestly.
elbow room's a good spot. Good spot.
Great spot.
Great spot. That little
Great
area
spot.
there. That little area there is a really good Fort Lauderdale. Real nice. Real nice.
And you know what? I like it crowded in there. I don't need much elbow room when I'm in there. I don't mind it a little tight.
Cash only.
You bop around a little bit,
Okay.
PK. Oh, pal. Oh, you get out there. Yeah, you do. Kick the boots around. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ty's got a question for you.
PK, you mentioned how every game right now someone has something to play for. As like a casual fan who really starts paying attention once the playoffs start, are these the tightest playoff races we've seen in quite some time, or does it typically happen like this where we're literally going down to the last game of the season on both sides of the NHL in terms of who's going to get in the playoffs and who's not?
Let's be real about this. This is the best situation that we've seen the NHL in a very long time. And I'd be lying to say that Gary Bettman isn't smiling ear to ear right now, because as a league, which league has this much parity in it? You know, the NFL, because of the way that sport is played, you know, it's always played down to the final whistle, right? There's so many players, so many ways to impact the game, so many ways to win, so many ways to lose. You know, in hockey, right now, with where the game is at, all 32 teams are in play. So, you know, I think that for the NHL, it's a godsend to have this type of parity, and I think we have to really appreciate it. I think also for the fans, knowing going into any season, regardless of where you're ranked or touted, you know that your team's got a chance. So who would have thought that Philly, Detroit, all these teams would be battling it out for a playoff spot come this time? So we wouldn't have known. Torts, unbelievable. What about him?
I don't like what's happening in
Unbelievable.
Philly at all, but every time he speaks, I'm like, this dude.
Yeah,
He's the best.
This dude needs a microphone more often. I know you're about to get into a car. We have one last question for you from Connor.
Yeah, PK, I love that you're
Yeah.
saying the East is wide open because last year it wasn't and the Bruins lost in the first round. But when we're talking about the West in the Oilers, they lose 5-0 to Texas Hockey last night. Are we on the brink of a McDavid threatening to leave like Nathan McKinnon did with the Colorado Avalanche a few years before they won the Cup, or is he going to be in Edmonton forever?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, when I look at that situation, I look at Sidney Crosby, right? And like Sidney Crosby, is he ever going to, leave Pittsburgh and go somewhere else?
No.
Pittsburgh's
Yeah,
not in
he's not.
contention,
Thanks, PK.
right?
Let's move along with the answer
No.
here.
And I'm not telling him, listen to me, I would never ever tell a player to do that. It's your career.
Okay.
Crosby's got cups. McDavid doesn't have any yet. So, it's different, right? Crosby's in a situation where he's got his legacy and all that stuff. With McDavid, he's got the same, but he's got no cups yet. So I think that it's going to be a personal decision to Connor and what he wants to do. But I think he really wants to make it work in Edmonton. I've never asked him about it, but I can usually tell by a player's body language and his attitude. Connor, I'm sure, wants to make it work in Edmonton, and he's loved playing there since he's been there. He's tried really hard. You can see with his effort on the ice, his body language. I'm sure he gets annoyed that they haven't been able to get over the hump. But, he's been loyal to that team, and I respect that.
Texas Hockey, good team, though.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Especially
team.
with Otter cooking in a shutout.
Yeah.
5-0.
Whoa.
It's too warm in Texas, too, for
Dallas.
hockey. Sorry, you guys
President's
are done.
Trophy coming.
No, you guys are done. You guys are done. Cooked. How's Nashville? Did you do Nashville last night or no?
Dude, did I do Nashville last night? I mean, unbelievable. I've been doing Nashville the past couple nights, and I came out here for work, but there's also some time for play. I mean, what about Broadway Street? It's unbelievable. They just keep adding bars, adding restaurants, and these places are packed. They're packed. Monday, Tuesday night, you can't get a seat in any of these places. So
Where'd you go? Did you go by Blake Shelton's spot? Did you go by Old Red?
You know what? Yesterday I was at Kid Rock spot, which was unbelievable.
Oh,
baby.
Hell
Were you
yeah.
up on the top?
I was at Kid Rock spot.
Were you up on the
Let's
top?
go.
Cadillac room?
Yeah, were you up on the top?
No, I stayed right at the bottom. I stayed at the bottom bar because they had the live music going on.
Yeah.
And I had made a couple song requests, so we had some Morgan Wallen going on in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kid Rock spot was nice. We went there yesterday. Oh, my God. If you ever want a burger and you're in Nashville, you got to go to Roberts on Broadway. I had a burger last night there for the first time.
What time?
It was
what
2
time?
nights ago. It was unbelievable.
What time?
What's that?
What time did you have the burger?
Oh, must have been 2 a.m.
Yeah.
2
All right, I'm
a.m.
sure it's great.
Oh.
I'm sure that burger is phenomenal. Yeah, anything really.
Yeah, I had a few tequilas too.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable though.
Yeah. Well, safe.
Cheese curds, chicken fingers. I did it all.
All right, safe travels. We appreciate you, PK.
Thanks, guys. I love you, Matt.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
too. See you later, PK. Oh, it had to be 2 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Cheese
right.
curds, tenders.
Yeah.
Come with tequilas.
all of them.
Anytime people are giving food reviews after talking about being at bars and requesting
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's hear what state of mind you're in when you're potentially eating the greasiest burger of all time. How'd you feel the next day? Who knows? We used to have a gyro spot in Pittsburgh on the south side.
Gyros.
Oh, Hero, whatever the hell you call it, where you
It's
guys
gyro.
are from.
Yeah, it's the same
Gyro.
thing.
Well, it's actually called gyro.
Two.
That's what it's called.
We had two great ones.
Yeah. Well, there was one that was right across the street from where Nick lived down there. And
Sammy's.
Sam's Mediterranean spot, yeah.
you wake up the next morning, you just got cucumber taste in your mouth.
Nice.
Taki sauce.
Yeah, you're
Sammy's
right.
unbelievable.
Cucumber's great.
Must have had a great night last night. Yeah, must have really did it with that. Yeah. I mean, we used to go Hero every night. But I'm sure if you would have told me to judge foods like a day out of that, I would have said Gyro 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's the best food ever.
Best food of all
The
time.
best food you'll ever find.
No offense, Roberts. I'm assuming your burgers are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But a 2 a.m. taste bud is not necessarily the most truth-telling.
As soon as PK said that he was an Elbow Room fan, you knew that that burger was late.
Yeah, bingo. That's why. What time is this all happening?
Elbow Room is a great spot.
That is. And if you've ever been to Elbow Room, anybody else that's like openly talking about Elbow Room, you're like, All right, I know.
Okay, this guy.
Cool. I know what type of life you're living. I know what type of life you're living. Hockey is awesome. Hockey's in the middle of it right now. It feels like you're in a great spot, Nick. He said Gary Bettman's smiling ear to ear. Now, we don't know if suits have the capability of getting ear to ear, but Gary Bettman and hockey seem to be on the uptick right now, Nick.
Everything's pointing upwards, Pat. The playoffs are coming down to these tight races on both the East and the West. The East is a little more top heavy. The West is loaded from top to bottom. They got teams in every spot that can make a run. The East, you would look at players like Boston, Carolina, the Rangers, and Florida to really push forward and make a run to the Cup.
And the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well,
I hope
massive game tonight. Got to win tonight.
Washington?
Yes.
Washington?
In Washington.
OV.
That used to be a big rivalry. He was mentioned in rivalries and stuff like that.
Huge.
Washington used to be in Pittsburgh because it was Ovi and Sid up there.
And we know how well Sid's playing this year. Ovi had a terrible start to the season, but he's back now. He's been scoring. He had like 6 straight games with goals. He's lighting it up again.
He's back in his office, just skating down the entire rink like this. Go ahead, feed him, clap ball.
Yeah, top shelf.
Boom.
If he keeps going like this, he will break Gretzky's all-time goal record next season.
Which is phenomenal. Nobody thought that would get broken. And once again, for Wayne Gretzky, for those that just want to compare other athletes to Wayne Gretzky, if you were to get rid of all of his goals, he would still lead the history of the NHL in points.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you were just to get rid of his goals, which count towards the points, obviously, his 16 goals. If you were to get rid of one half of them, he would still be the all-time.
That's absurd.
Was that before like the 2 assists? Was Gretzky before that?
No.
Nick? No.
No, he's definitely getting a second assist.
Okay. Just making sure.
Definitely. I mean,
because it could have been even.
That
more.
is one of the best things about hockey.
Oh yeah.
Is like you just toss it to
Nice
a
little tuck
playmaker.
pass.
You get a couple of those.
And then somebody goes in there and they pass it, and then there's a goal. It's like,
Here we go,
second
boy.
assist.
Shot that goes off somebody and in.
Hockey's sweet. 10 people fighting to start it. That is fantastic. Speaking of a little bit of a fight, did you hear a little verbal joust between Brandon Beane and a reporter yesterday?
Yeah. I heard it.
Brandon Beane had to, face the music of trading Stefon Diggs, their number 1 wide receiver, to the Houston Texans in the AFC South for a second-round pick in next year's draft, while also giving up a 5th and a 6th. He addressed local media yesterday, and they talked about the future and talked about the draft. And if you're getting rid of all your wide receivers, what's going on with the draft? Here's what Brandon Beane had to say.
And possibly draft multiple receivers this year.
Well, did you hear me on Pat McAfee? I said we're going to draft one in every round. You didn't hear that?
Pat.
You don't like Pat?
I like Pat, but
he's a pretty good guy.
I appreciate him saying you don't like. You don't like Pat? Oh. I appreciate that because he's probably heard about some of the wars that we've potentially been in, just trying to pick and choose who's on Pat's side, who's not. We appreciate that, Mr. Brandon Beane. And we have reached out to Brandon Beane a couple times since the trade has taken place, especially to the Houston Texans in the AFC South, and let him know that we're not necessarily thrilled, but we understand he's got to do what he's got to do. We have not heard back. But here is Brandon Beane on our show addressing the wide receiver in the draft situation to a question from Stefon Diggs.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but you guys are taking wide receiver in the first round, is what I'm being told, and everyone.
Hey, congratulations for doing that.
That's good class for it.
Way to go.
Just the first round?
Whoa.
Got 11 picks. Got screwed on your compensatory pick.
Got news for you. Luckily for you, this is a deep wide receiver draft. Okay, so I want to ask you kind of about the way you go about drafting. When it's a deep, say, wide receiver or tackle draft that everyone's saying it is or whatever, are you more likely to go a different position if you don't love someone where you're picking at, since there is so much depth, and maybe you could take a flyer on someone in the later rounds? Is that, or do you just always have a guy, or just go by your board? How's it work generally for you in that situation?
Yeah, great question. First off, we're taking a receiver every round.
Hey, good question, Tony.
But in all seriousness, using receiver, it is a deep class this year. So if you were on the clock, let's just say first round, and
what number pick are you?
28. So if you got your board stacked.
All right, so he did give some real answers in there, which is kind of our show. We call it comedic informative. Yeah. Because there was a lot of, you had to get through some bullshit in there. Sure. Okay, with, Tone saying, well, all the mocks are saying this about you. He takes a shot at there, but then you hear him say this is a deep wide receiver draft class, though, which I think is him acknowledging that, hey, we've been doing a lot of research on the wide receivers, knowing when you lose Gabe Davis, now you trade away Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen's going to need a weapon somewhere. Oh, yeah. So I did think we got a little bit from him there. Now, him saying I'm drafting a wide receiver in every single round, that's probably bullshit.
Yeah, probably. For sure.
But that's our program on a day-to-day basis. We did some journalism there. Feels like he likes what's coming out of the college.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, listening to that back, I think they're going to trade up to like 8 now.
Whoa.
And take a wide receiver just because, they.
That was me that said, geez, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't Brandon Beane.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't.
okay,
No,
okay,
it wasn't. But he does go on to say, because he talks about last year, how like, hey, when it gets close and you really like a guy like they did with Kincaid and you only have to go up 2 or 3 spots, sure. Like Beane will do that. In this situation now, and that they moved up for Kincaid after paying Dawson Knox $50 million. Like now they lose their top 2 receivers. It feels like, hey, if Beane likes the guy at 15 or even 20, like would he move up 8 spots? I feel like he has proven that he would, and he actually said that he would.
I love the fact that Beane has been seemingly so transparent about everything. He said, well, this isn't a rebuild. Like, this is something we had to do. Now, they had to get under salary cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had to move a lot of contracts. They had to move. This is a part, though, of being a wagon that has paid your quarterback. Like, things are going to have to happen around the quarterback that you're going to have to make. Decisions are going to have to be made that you're not necessarily going to love. Stefon Diggs is obviously a massive loss to that offense, especially if you look at the amount of yards. Now, Brandon Beane did point out, I don't know if Stefon, was he ever an All-Pro before?
I don't think he was.
Here's Brandon Beane talking about Stefon Diggs.
I mean, I don't remember. I don't think Steph made an All-Pro before he got here, and he made multiple and some Pro Bowls in there too.
So Brandon Beane has heard the whole conversation about Josh Allen hadn't been shit until Stefon Diggs showed up, but he's also potentially thinking like, hey, it was good for both sides here through this all, which leads even more to the point of that's a difficult decision to make to move on, but you have to understand that teams are going to have to change. Like, that's just how it's going to have to go. Defensive side's going to look different. Offense side's going to look different. But if you pay 17, which they did, and you have faith in 17, you just got to assume that the next team is going to be just as good, hopefully better than the previous one.
Well, and you mentioned it yesterday, talking about Brady and Manning and Rodgers and guys like that. Like, those types of quarterbacks create stars. Like you can go out and pay a guy top dollar if he's already established as one of the best guys in the league. But the way they've paid Josh Allen, and we've watched him, how good he is, they obviously believe he's one of those guys where if they draft a couple receivers this year, and they signed Curtis Samuel, I think, too, like they believe that he can create a star. Like they don't need to be paying a guy top dollar in order for them to get production at receiver.
Well, so to that point, Tom Brady, there's actually a video released from the golf tournament in which they played. Aaron still has his very long hair. And
awesome.
Looks like incredible hippie, where Tom Brady talks about quarterbacks losing wide receivers and even predicts what's happening right now in Buffalo.
Devontae left him, and Tyreek left you, Patrick. Josh, don't worry, someone's going to leave you too. I love you. My boy Mike never left me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they're talking about losing
Yeah.
your weapon, and he said, Josh, don't worry, someone's going to leave you. Stephon Diggs now gone.
He did.
These are decisions that get made business-wise. Tyreek, remember, trade, pay by Miami Dolphins because of money. So if you're a great quarterback, there's a good chance you're going to have a great wide receiver, and with the new market of what wide receivers are and can get, especially if they're great, it's going to be hard to keep tag team partners together.
Yeah.
Now, Chase and Joe Burrow seemingly going to be able to remain together going forward. T. Higgins, though, probably not going to be able to happen. And Jamar Chase, probably this next contract, they're going to pay the quarterback probably.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to have to go elsewhere. This is going to become a trend, I think, which is not cool. I don't love it. But I think this is going to become a common trend as the business continues to go where it's headed for these wide receivers.
Well, and think about the team that keeps beating them in the playoffs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, does everyone think Josh Allen is as good as Mahomes? Probably not, but I think the Bills think Josh Allen is as good as Mahomes. They paid him like he is. And they saw what Mahomes has done with these wide receivers since Tyreek has left, and they're probably thinking in their head, why can't we do the same with Josh? Is probably what they're thinking.
And Dalton Kincaid, maybe he gets going a little bit.
Exactly. Like he could be their guy, and they might start leaning on James Cook because they
Shakir was a dog.
Shakir was
they
a
ran
dog
a
too.
ton after.
Yeah, once they fired Dorsey, they started really running the ball, and that's
let James
Cook. And that's kind of what, not the Chiefs completely lean on Pacheco like that, but they they give Pacheco 20 carries pretty consistently. Like if they start doing that with James Cook, they might not need that top end guy.
Did you guys hear about what was going on this morning?
What was that?
UConn couldn't get to the Final Four.
Excuse me?
Pete Thamel had an easier, smoother trip to Phoenix for the Final Four than the UConn Huskies.
I thought he flew the plane. That's how he knew that they landed at 3:14.
No, he did tweet out at the exact moment that the UConn Huskies landed in Phoenix. UConn's plane has landed in Arizona. It's 3:14 local time. Pete Thamel did not sleep all night. That's why we saw him looking the way he did, had that hat on. He was putting a water fountain behind him because it was actually hitting him with water to keep him awake during our conversation. He's on it. Pete Thamel will sniff it out That's why he's the authority.
Right.
But yeah, UConn's playing at mechanical issues. So to do obviously the repairing of the mechanical issues, especially on planes, that involves like checks and then further checks and everything like that, especially everything going on right now. So you can go ahead and count that plane out pretty much if it has mechanical issues. Just as somebody that's potentially had to experience this, you are completely at the mercy of mechanical issues. Even if mechanical issue isn't real, it's just a sensor that happened to go off that wasn't supposed to go off. All of a sudden, plane, we ain't getting in this plane, and nobody wants to. I do not want to get onto a plane that has a mechanical issue that has not been checked.
No.
I don't want to go on a plane that says, it's just a faulty sensor. Is it? Well, why was that sensor put on here then? How did that sensor make it here? So that's a whole dilemma that you have. But normally it's okay, now we got to find a replacement plane.
Yep.
Where's replacement plane at? Well, replacement plane could be maybe in the next town over. Could be 3 states over.
Right.
Also, is there pilots with that plane? Well, we got to find pilots for that plane. And then is the plane stocked? Because plane has to be stocked for UConn. Who has, how do we, what do we, where do we? So that can be a very long process. Finding replacement plane, piloting replacement plane, getting clear for takeoff in place, clear for new trip, and also UConn to Phoenix is a long-ass way. That's a long-ass way. So just as somebody who travels a lot on a regular basis and tried to learn more about the plane business because it's so fascinating, how are they able to fly?
How does this work?
How does it even...
It's so heavy.
I get the Wright brothers had a kite down in North Carolina, but how are these buildings soaring at 500 miles an hour at 40,000 feet? Well, okay, whatever.
Sure, shout out.
None of it makes sense to me. And I guess turbulence is a good thing, they say, because that means you're riding a different way. That's keeping you up. That's the up force. Okay. None of it makes sense to me. That's why I'm so fascinated by it, especially with everything you learn on the nightly news about what's happening with these planes. It's like, wild that it's happening and everything instant. See ya.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Yep.
So I've tried. It is a nightmare logistically to figure these things out, let alone to get in the path. And now I understand the NCAA is controlling this, not UConn. So now Hurley, who we just talked to yesterday, incredible interview. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I would recommend going back and checking it out. What a human. I'm a massive fan of his and his dragon underwear. He's going to use this.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
He said, we've been saying all year rain and repeat, and then none of the guys I think were all American going in. I don't think any of these guys were all American or any awards or anything like that. So I remind the guys, it's real nice now, but nobody really had any faith. The NCAA is trying to screw us.
Yep.
They're ruining our entire schedule. Like, he's going to utilize this as motivation, which is a good thing. And I also appreciate the fact that he was tweeting while waiting in the FBO for the next plane to come. But that is a miserable thing because they have no answers for you. Because it could be in an hour, could be 3 hours from now that you're getting the plane, and you're literally at their mercy. I assume that's what UConn was experiencing last night, let alone the fact that NCAA was handling it. So now you got a third party handling a fourth party, trying to find a replacement plane. What a nightmare last night. But once again, we believe Hurley will utilize this as motivation somehow, and UConn will somehow play its best game.
Yeah, I forget about that the NCAA handles all the travel, and that's bullshit when you get down to the Final Four, but it is what it is. But I think UConn, I'm pretty sure it was them like a couple years ago when Hurley was the coach. They were playing in the Las Vegas regional in the NCAA tournament, and the NCAA books all the hotels too, and they got to a Vegas hotel and it had like bed bugs and all this stuff, and he basically said, he was like, nope, screw this. Like, we're not staying here. And UConn had to figure out like a different place to stay. So like, they're no strangers to this kind of stuff. But yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, what he said, they were going to have a meal. Like, they were supposed to leave at like 7 p.m.
Capitol Grill, we're going to get a steak.
Yeah.
We're going to get on this plane. They're eating Ritz crackers. 10 o'clock at night.
Jeez. And I assume based on like where they're practicing and stuff like that, like that's all NCAA mandated too. So it's like they can't be like, hey, okay, shoot around, we'll push it back 5-6 hours. I don't think it works like that. I'm pretty sure like everything today goes as is. So like they got shitty sleep last night, and now they have to just like, hey, it is what it is.
I assume the hotels are good. It's 4 teams, basketball, Final
Now,
Four.
for sure, at this stage.
I assume they're in a good spot and everything like that. But yes, Hurley will utilize all this. As soon as I saw it, my first thought was like, Patriots should just
send their 2 plays.
Celtics should
how
just
come they didn't?
I don't
like
know
immediately
why.
like that. Like Robert Kraft has a lot of bad PR going on around about him right now around the New England Patriots fans because of that documentary that came out that, said, well, Bill Belichick didn't do anything.
No, none of the good stuff.
That was us. Me and my son.
Tommy.
Me and him, we did it all, not Bill. And then New England Patriots fans were like, You weren't lifting any of those weights. We didn't.
You weren't on the
We
sidelines.
didn't see you throw a single challenge flag or wear one busted up sweatshirt in any of these press conferences. This seems like a bunch of bullshit. What an easy babyface move that could have been.
Simple.
Overnight. I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're using them for something else because they do actually like give them out to like some organizations sometimes.
Yeah, but any bazillionaire up there
Oh, I
has their
agree.
own plane.
Yeah, I mean, it
because
should've been.
basketball team, right? That's how many?
15.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like
Probably like
yeah.
25 total.
But it has to get to
For
Phoenix,
sure.
So it has to be a bigger plane because it has to be able to get to Phoenix.
But
That's
Connecticut,
a long ass flight.
a lot of money in Connecticut. I would have figured there would have just been some automatic billionaire
Are they
from
allowed to?
UConn.
Planes
that-
coming, yeah, because the NCAA is the one that provides it. Is that an added? But can you not say it's an NILC?
Yeah, that's
Which is why people are thinking the NCAA. Why are you even here?
Yeah,
Correct.
right.
Why are you even here? Because I even thought to myself, like, who do I know up there that has a plane?
yeah.
And I was almost like, hey, big babyface move right now. You just send plane right to UConn
Yeah.
right now.
WWE.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying
Best PR.
Yeah,
that was almost.
Yeah, we know a plane.
That was literally my first thought was like, Nick, send UConn
They play
the
now.
WWE plane and get their ass to Phoenix
Yeah.
immediately. And I assume it was being. The thing about it is though, most people that own planes are very busy people.
Yeah, sure. Tend to use them.
Yeah,
Typically do.
There's a reason they have them. That's why they have created the wealth. But like, that's what I immediately thought overnight was like, why doesn't somebody do it? I didn't get involved. Okay, I've only met Dan Hurley for 30 minutes.
Sure.
Great guy.
It's not my job. Somebody else is. But that was what I thought was going to take place. Instead, no, the NCAA figured it out.
Yep.
And Dan Hurley at about 1 a.m. We're still sitting here.
Feels not
Good thing is
yeah.
those kids are used
The
to
guys
it.
that
probably.
completely forgot about the Capital Grill steak.
Yeah.
A lot of guys shitting out the steak that we had. The steak was supposed to be before the entire trip over there. Boys were supposed to have a full, nice tummy as they head into the Final Four. Instead, we're using FBO toilets, only 2 of them, and they're dumping these steaks all over the place. The steaks that we bought at Capital Grill will not be felt in Phoenix, Arizona, because we're still sitting in FBO. Wheels still not up.
That's right.
I appreciate the update.
Have to have another meal probably on that plane over.
Well, that's a whole part of the whole getting the plane
The whole Ritz crackers.
set up process. Like that thing's got it for how long it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long the
Diesel
is.
flight. Yeah.
Pilots probably need,
Oh, yeah.
and those pilots couldn't fly during for how long that flight is. Probably couldn't have had any hours during the day because of duty time.
Right.
Which is the amount of hours that pilots are like there's just so much bullshit that as soon as I saw that their plane had technical whatever issues, I was like, that's a long night.
Terrible.
That's a long, long night. But they're going, hey, come on. Rain and repeat.
They love it.
Rain and repeat. People at Alabama are telling us that we're not giving them enough love. They made Final Four.
What?
We're not talking about Alabama enough.
Nice
What do you
story.
mean? Yeah,
Well, it's a football
incredible.
team. It's a football team. How about our basketball team? We're in the Final Four. Now we're 11.5-point dogs in the Final Four. It's because nobody believes in us. You guys won't talk about us. Sports books are saying they were 11.5-point dogs. They don't have any faith. Alabama's a bunch of dogs, though. Hey, Alabama, way to go.
Yeah. Congratulations.
We had their coach on once a week all year.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying, though.
Yeah.
Everybody it's not football season, so nobody wants to talk about Alabama because Alabama football has been this wagon.
Sorry, that's light.
They're saying our basketball team, though, too. What about it? What about it? What about it?
You know how you
Mark
silence
Cuban.
that?
How?
You go out and beat UConn.
Yeah.
And don't get beat by 40 like Illinois did.
So that 30-0 run, I saw a couple people tweet me and say, wait, this team won by 30 or something in terms. Yeah, we're not talking about winning by 30.
No.
We're talking about in the course of play. Okay, for those that didn't see this. During the game, you know how they have runs of like, they're on a 10-0 run right now, which is wild. 10-0 run is like,
Oh, yeah.
basketball is on fire.
Yeah, heat check.
He's on fire. Like they're pulling up from half court, 10-0.
Yep.
15-0, big.
Yeah.
Huge.
Massive.
How is this even happening in basketball? People can score at will. At least some foul has had to be called where they can shoot from the foul line and make one of them maybe. So then it's like a 15-1 run, but it's not 50. 20-0 run is, you see that on the lower corner. It's like, whoa, this team is hot. This team sucks. 30-0 run in the middle of the game. That can't be happening in the Elite Eight.
Unheard of.
The only reason why it does, Dragons.
That's right. That's right.
He wore those Dragons underwear, so he almost picked the Wolves, and they're out there balling. That Klingen guy, Kling Kong, he said he's young, he's still ready to go. Could have won last year, now he's going to go this year. And I think he feels like it's just
Oh, yeah.
we got another one problem.
I bet they do.
I bet and there's another one coming in. And there's another one coming in there. There will never be another DJ BJ, though.
No chance.
We need to appreciate DJ Burns Jr. Not only because he's selling out restaurants down in North Carolina, but because his moxie, swagger, and playing style is one that, and I've seen a lot of people making comparisons to Escalade, from and one.
That's good.
And rest in peace to Escalade.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace to Escalade. But yeah, that is what you think. Because anytime you saw Escalade play basketball, you got a sense of joy inside. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's bigger, stronger than everybody on the court. He's got no-look passes, 6 shoes, great personality. Teammates absolutely love him. Kind of leader of this whole thing. And then you bring DJ BJ, and it's like similar.
Yeah.
Team loves him. Seems to be a guy you want to hang out with.
Moxie.
Has incredible moxie. Understands he's the guy, too. Look, he's the one walking out first here. So he understands, this is my team, how this whole thing goes. And DJ BJ, we're going to enjoy this entire run, pal.
Yeah. Need you here, DJ.
What? You betting on NC State, pal?
Yeah, I'm going to keep going with the underdogs for sure, but also the points are so much. And, with Edie is incredible. It is awesome, but DJ BJ, just like you said, he's got too much moxie. No one else in the tournament has that.
Let's stay with college basketball, shall we?
Hell yeah.
How about the NIT?
Oh, baby.
Championship tonight.
That's right. Big one.
Indiana State versus Seton Hall, 7 p.m. here at Hinkle Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, which is a far drive from where we are currently at right now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Far drive.
Couple hours.
It is.
At least.
I mean, 45 minutes to an hour with traffic.
I mean, with the way this week is, though.
4 to 5.
Like, these things could not fall on a worse week.
Couldn't have.
Yeah. It's a shame. I will be watching this game.
100%.
I will have my eyes on Rob Wave. I will have my eyes on Larry Nerd. I will have my eyes on Stefan Blurry.
Right.
I will have my eyes on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Sycamores. As they are favored in the NIT championship. A team, you want to talk about moxie and swagger.
Yeah.
This Indiana State team kind of oozes all of it.
Truly.
They sell out their arena. They're going to sell out Hinkle Fieldhouse. And we have a meeting scheduled for them next week if they do pull this off. Seton Hall is nothing to sneeze at.
No, good team.
Indiana State puts up 100 points in some of these games. Seton Hall, though, not scared to fill the bucket as well.
That's right.
And they slapped the floor.
You know who Seton Hall beat this year?
Who's that?
UConn.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I believe their coach also led the Peacocks.
Yeah, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's to a massive NCAA run a couple years
Elite
ago.
Eight.
Too.
Oh, I remember when they were peacocking all
Shaheen
around.
Hall.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember Shaheen.
Doug
Mustache.
McDermott.
Yeah, but has he ever McDermott, I remember.
Doug Edert.
Okay.
He had the same
Doug McDermott, though.
he had the same Buffalo Wild Wings deal that
He was a player.
Still in
Golke
the
got
league.
this year.
College basketball is sweet.
Yeah.
Love it.
We'll have Kelsey Plum on today in the third hour to talk about the women's March Madness and kind of her thoughts on it all. And also the fact that the Las Vegas Aces era is over.
Yeah, good rain.
Sorry about it.
They had a good run.
I know the New York Liberty, Sabrina Yanecku, was speaking to the Iowa Hawkeyes team.
Yep, she
brought
was.
gifts and said everything like, hey, enjoy this. This is the last time you're going to feel this and everything like
Love that.
New York Liberty, great team.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. It's the Fever's League.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry about
Not
it.
on us.
I think we've told Kelsey Plum this before whenever we saw her down at the All-Star game.
That's right.
We told the entire Las Vegas Aces team that now, did we know everybody that we were talking to was on the Aces? No. But I feel like we are potentially putting chips on shoulders of the reigning back-to-back champs.
That's fine.
That's, yeah.
And I don't love that. But Caitlin Clark lives with pressure.
Bingo.
That's what she does.
She's born with a chip ingrained into her shoulder.
And shoulder pads
Yep.
to withstand the pressure
Exactly.
that has been put
She
on
got
her
a
shoulder.
tattooed. A chip.
A chip?
Yeah.
What type?
Dorito.
Oh. It's a great idea.
Thought it was a Ruffles with ridges.
No, it's too hard.
More chips on the ridges.
I'll tell you, I'll go Pringles every time.
Yeah.
Same.
Just in general.
I
Yeah.
love
See,
Pringles.
that would blend into my
Like
skin.
the pizza Pringles.
Oh, baby.
Yup.
Oh,
I'm
that-
going with it.
Salt and vinegar.
I'm going.
Salt and vinegar.
Now, I did have a Doritos run. But Pringles, I feel like, is the most consistent. Hour 2 with Dwight Freeney and AJ Hawks on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan, another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your butt was just talking, okay?
I did not fart.
Dan, this is 2 times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys being serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable.
You guys definitely just freaking idiots.
We swear.
You guys 1,000% just made that up.
No, we swear. We swear.
No way.
No one did that, Dan. What did you eat?
I haven't even ate you guys.
Hey, if I were you right now, I'd go grab some food.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything, I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB.
I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I can't even be serious with you, man.
What are you, chucking a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there, get you some coffee, get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe run that clip.
Yeah. On loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guys...
Shams, shut up. He said it sounded like a fart.
What did AJ vote? It's a fart all day long, Kurt. You know that. Has anybody voted no? Dan. I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, that was you that farted," I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
What all those airports? People are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN. Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, Dwight, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this WrestleMania Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Sports! Our wonderful, and thank you to today's sponsor, SeatGeek, the best ticket app on planet Earth and the moon. With the off-season in full swing, SeatGeek has extended their $30 off promo to all event types, NBA, NHL, concerts, comedy, WrestleMania, anything. Use code PAT30 to get $30 off tickets. Doesn't matter if you're a new or repeat purchaser, $30 off with code PAT30. Restrictions apply. I don't know if you can still get tickets for WrestleMania, but we do know we're just 23 hours removed from being live at WWE World in Philadelphia.
Yes!
We have an announcement to make at this exact moment. 12:05 Eastern Time tomorrow, damn near the beginning of the show. The CCO, the cerebral assassin, Triple H, will be kicking off the show to start this entire WrestleMania weekend for us in the beautiful city of Philadelphia before the biggest WrestleMania of all time happens, WrestleMania 40. Woo! Yeah! The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will be facing music at 12:30. Rhea Ripley will be joining us at 1:15. Logan Paul at 1:45. Michael Cole will be guest hosting. Yes. And if you see the silhouette there over Triple H's left shoulder, that's The Miz, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's The Miz. He was a surprise guest, potentially going to show up and maybe make some magic. Big thanks to the WWE for being so damn hospitable. I guess our set is
pretty sweet.
It's in a very
cool.
I guess it looks sweet. I guess it looks I guess it looks very sweet. We had a chance to chit-chat with Triple H this morning, and he said, I saw your set. It looks awesome. I think it's going to be good. Hopefully there's people there. Hopefully we'll be in front of some folks. If not, we can't wait to kick off a weekend that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. Not only because of WrestleMania, but how about the Final Four?
Sure.
I mean, we got a big one. Let's enjoy the hell out of this. The Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Stefon Diggs is here. And joining us now, live from an attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, a man who's going to be in WWE 2K24.
Whoa.
AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, how you doing?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Hey, not too shabby. We talked about a couple things. The big news of the day at the beginning of the show. Rangers, Devils, as soon as the puck drops to start the game, everybody's fighting. We love that.
Man, I don't know everything that led up to it, why it happened exactly, but man, I am a fan. I'm all in.
Okay, so that one over there, 73 in the blue, his name's Matt Rempe. He is really taking the world by storm.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yep.
I know him a little bit.
Yeah, so 3 weeks ago when the Rangers and the Devils played against each other, he had an elbow to the head of a guy. He gets ejected.
Oh,
He
okay.
talks shit.
Nice.
So this
I remember.
this was a little bit of, and he's a fighter, and then he fights. This was kind of in the cards, if you will. I don't know if all 5 guys knew they were going to fight. I think 2 of the Devils thought maybe, we're not getting into this.
They did not.
They did not know.
No, they spoke after the game, and Curtis McDermott, who was the one who fought Matt Rempe, said he didn't know the other guys were going to join in. It was awesome to see his teammates support him and the rest of the team.
Oh, so it was supposed to be one-on-one?
Yes.
Okay, so it was supposed to be Rempe and McDermott, who are known sluggers for their teams, if you will. And you see them before the puck is dropped, like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. So for the entire line just to start, how about those 2 Devils guys? Like, no. All right, fine. Got to do it. This is why hockey is awesome. Not only this, there's a lot of other things, but this is one of the things that makes hockey such a fantastic sport to watch at any given moment. Even if the game just started, there can't be any beefs, right? The game just started. There's no carryover. How about 3 weeks ago? Yeah, we can fight right now, if you will. Have no idea how Gary Bettman's going to respond to it. As the ones on the far right there were throwing haymakers at each other, there's only 4 refs on the ice, 5 different fights. So one of them was going to be, kind of unsanctioned out there. And it certainly got crazy. All the boys are going crazy. Rempe's asking Madison Square Garden to bring the noise. 8 of them ejected. Obviously, there's a lot going on. But this is one of the reasons why hockey is just a sport that we have to keep hockey.
Yeah.
Can't lose this.
No.
Because look what it did last night. I mean, we're leading the show with it. Last night, it took over the internet. I saw a bunch of comments on our post. Gumpy had that thing up within a matter of seconds of it happening on our Instagram, and then we had it up on Twitter because Connor's tweet or whatever. It's like everybody that I saw, not hockey fans, were like, hockey's like that? Question mark.
Kidding me?
This is hockey? Had no idea this is hockey. And there's hockey and purists that don't love this type of thing, but there's a lot of people that don't watch a lot of hockey that were like, holy shit, had no idea this was possible, AJ.
Yeah, I just worry, like the NHL, are they okay with this? Do they want to get this out of the game? How are they going to handle it? Because you can absolutely do not take it out. We know we can't have this every single night, but every once in a while, this is good for the game.
I think it's all in like the eyes of the beholder. Okay? I think Gary Bettman has gone through a couple different phases in how he views it all. There was at one point they were trying to eliminate it completely. Okay? Whenever all this, they were trying to get fighting out of the game. It's barbaric. We don't need it. Okay? Especially with injuries to the head. Why would we add even more opportunities for this? It's not good for our sport. Our sport is a technical game. Our sport is a talent game, and it is. It certainly is that as well. But then there was a little bit of a, I don't want to say a lack of interest, but there was a little bit of a ripple effect of that whole thing where there was an entire generation of people that, hated that particular aspect of it all.
Oh, yeah.
So then they tried to kind of wheel it back a little bit, and then whenever we talked to him at the beginning of the season, he was like, we just don't want the staged fighting. Like, if it happens naturally, we're cool with it. If hockey players want to police their own game, okay, guy gets a little crazy, you can't do that to my friend, you want to go brawl with a guy, cool, but we can't be having the staged fighting. This was definitely a staged fight.
Yes, it was.
But it was also a makeup, hockey policing each other there. So I will be excited to see how Gary Bettman handles this. This is a real... Nick, do we have a heads up on when Gary will talk about this? What is normally the protocol for how this whole thing goes?
I mean, maybe he issues a statement, but normally this is just, I don't want to say swept under the rug, but not really even blinked at in terms of publicly speaking. I'm sure they're talking about it in league offices, but they don't come out and do a press conference or anything about it. Certainly not.
Gary told us that he watches the show every once in a while. Gary, great time to babyface right now. You want to put a statement out. Great time to babyface right now. Hey, sometimes this type of stuff happens in hockey. We don't love it. We don't condone it. But this is just something whenever you disrespect or feel like somebody has been disrespected, hockey players police the game themselves. It's one of the great parts of our sport.
Yes.
We don't want this happening all the time, but it is one of the great parts of our sport. We carry on. Here's the suspensions. and then we move along. It is a good time to potentially babyface a little bit.
Will they even get suspended?
I don't know.
Right?
I hope not.
I assume not.
No, I doubt it. With the game misconducts they handed out, that was pretty much handled in the game, so I don't think there'll be any supplemental stuff.
Great time to babyface then.
Yes.
If you don't have to hand out any more discipline, great time to be like, hey, part of our game, don't love it, let's move forward. And everybody be like, Commissioner's saying, and they got all these old school hockey people where they're like, we can't be condoning this. We can't
Because remember, a normal fighting major is 5 minutes, and then you're back in the game. These guys all got tossed from the game 2 seconds into the game, so that is essentially a 1-game suspension in and of itself.
Okay, so, hey, we love it. Good for hockey's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. Love you,
It's not going to happen in the playoffs, though. They know they don't do this stuff in the playoffs anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. Like, guys aren't going to risk getting penalties in the playoffs because if you have a man in the box, that is quite a disadvantage, and we're trying to win games, not lose games, because if we win, more money, okay, for everybody, and better life for everybody. So it has its place, I believe, in hockey as a hockey fan, and I hope it stays. And PK Subban, who's been hammering tequila down in Nashville for the last 3 days, he went on a campaign trail about how this is good for the game, and this is awesome. I hope there's a lot of people that feel that way, AJ.
yeah, I would imagine, like, when you say old school hockey fans may not be a fan, I thought old school hockey fans would be the people that are pushing this and saying, hey, we need the guys to police the game.
I guess I should say purists.
Purists.
It's like the hockey purists, not the hockey purists.
Hockey nerds? Hockey, what do you mean?
Analytics?
Yeah, the nerds. Yeah,
Analytics, maybe?
No, I don't know about the analytics people. I don't know where they stand. Analytics people are on everybody's side. But like whenever
the high horsers.
High horses, the purists, like, hey, our game is above this now. Like, our game is this.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like,
okay,
they didn't
sense.
like when the Skycam came in for those Stadium Series games. I remember texting, as soon as I saw it the first time, however many, 10 years ago, whatever it was, I remember texting Nick and being like, yes, this, as a person that was never able to play ice hockey because I couldn't skate, time of it, and probably how expensive the whole thing is, whenever I felt like I was going Dahn with the boys, it like made me see hockey a lot differently. It's like, okay, with the passing going on, this is brilliant. I love it. They need to get these in the arena. I said, we need to get this in arena, everything. And then you look on the internet and you got all these hockey purists like, this is disgusting. This is not how hockey's supposed to be viewed. We've already figured it out.
No change. They don't want anything to ever change from how it actually was. So yeah, the glowing puck or the puck with the streak on it, they really hated that one.
Shout out Fox for that one.
Yeah.
The blue.
It's a good try. It's a great try.
I love it. I
thought it was good.
I think, just like anything, if you make that a little bit smaller, as opposed to as cartoony, if you make that actually would help.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would benefit a lot of people, because even when you're playing video games or you're looking at someone on screen, they'll be like, you want a tail on this?
Yep. Yes.
So you can kind of see where it's at. If they were able to make a smaller, more
puck size,
toothy,
Toothy,
tail,
much more
more couth on there, I think people would love it. But instead, what happened was it was too big, too cartoony. It's a video game. It's disrespecting our game. We need it out of here. It's like, well, I don't think it's that bad of an idea. I think it was actually a good idea. But Nick, those people are in every sport. That's just how.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
and you need those people in the sports. I think
Yes.
you need those fans as well because they're the ones that are like backbone of fan community in their eyes, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Diggs kind of hit it on the head. It's a lot of it is the analytics community because they are really driving the force behind the skill of the game, the speed of the game, and things like that.
You know, it's the analytics community that's trying to do the hip drop tackle.
Yeah, we know. Yeah,
What's the analytics guy in NHL?
I love analytics.
Yeah, what do they do?
There's
has it gotten there?
I love analytics.
Oh, they got tons of analytics in the NHL.
Listen, analytics people, we're not analytics people, but we utilize stats. So I guess that makes us analytics people.
Stat that.
Hashtag.
I mean, it's just
Brandon
one tool.
Staley was their
One
king,
tool.
right?
He's no longer in the NFL. He's been fired. Potential
Didn't get a
game
job.
management situations being the reasoning for why he is fired. The game management situations have been dictated online by an analytics community that, in theory, all makes sense.
For sure.
Like, hey, that dealer's got a 6 out there. I'm loading up.
Yep. Every time.
I am loading up.
Depends who you are, I guess.
Well, let's just,
in this argument,
6 is out there. In theory, statistically,
the book.
This is what AJ. Will you mute his mic? Mute this guy's mic. In theory, statistically, supposed to go for it the entire time.
Sure.
So you can get away with saying, "Hey, I just put all my money, my mortgage on the table," but like. In real life, there's a potential 5 under there.
Yes.
And then there's a 10 coming.
Yeah, a king,
and then your mortgage is gone.
Exactly.
And then that's just one hand in a stat that is thousands, billions, and millions of hands deep. That's kind of what happened with Brandon Staley.
Yes.
Hey, there's a 62% chance here that you're going to be able to get this. Those are great odds.
Incredible.
Would you not take 62% odds on anything? In theory, it's great. But there is a 38% chance there this is not going to work. And what's going to happen? Oh, you're fired.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. AJ, okay, I was trying to get to the analytics community there, is what I was trying to do in, book. And hey, not everybody's doing it, of course. You're adding good points there. But as I was piecing it together, that is the analytics community in a nutshell. Like, yes, in theory, everything is good. But in real life, it's not, and we love analytics. But there also has to be a little bit of a common sense, logical reality conversation taking place as well. And for fighting, common sense, reality, logic of game, more people tuning in to game. What's that mean? More money coming to game. What's that mean? Better helmets, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Better technology, which is maybe safer for the brains in the long run. And that's where the human element could come in as opposed to just the numbers, AJ. I apologize for cutting you off there.
Oh, no, I was stepping all over you. That's on me. But what I'm saying, like the analytics stuff, do they ever – I just feel like it's just one piece of the puzzle. It's one tool in your tool belt, as coaches will say, to where, no, it's not the be-all, end-all. It's not black and white just like that. It's something you take into account, and it helps inform you of what decision you're going to make. But it's not like, hey, this is exactly what we're doing in every single situation.
Need analytics in decisions, I think.
Yeah.
You should learn from things that have happened in the past. But there are people that are just like strictly due to the analytics, this needs to happen. It's like, was it 100-0?
Yes.
No, I don't want to hear it then. This is not what we're just basing this thing off of, but that's where we live in. And it's good that there's more nerds, and that's a compliment. That is not I wish I was a nerd. I hope my daughter's a nerd. This is not a knock.
They care.
This is not 1990, okay? This is not, nerd is not like, this is a good thing to be a nerd. You want to be a geek. My daughter, I hope, is a nerd. I'm happy that the nerds are in sports. Like, it is good that the nerds have come into the sports world, found a lane, make sports better. But then also on the other side, it's like, you're not, like, that's not just like the Constitution.
You don't have every answer.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
that is not how this whole thing goes. It's like, we're in this thing together and we need fighting in hockey. So analytics people, please, for the love of God, let's find some stats about hockey being good too. You can go look at our tweet and our post last night and utilize those stats potentially about growth of the game and developing the game and evolving the game. Those stats matter as well, especially when you're talking about a business. Even though I know players' health is good, this might lead to better players' health with more eyes on the game.
Yeah, and analytics people, like, you should also take into account, hey, the Rangers are 1-0 due to the fact that they have fought right off the bat. So maybe they fight off the bat every single game, But for the NFL, like you mentioned, Belichick and Ernie Adams. Like, there's that situation, and I don't know if they go into it in the Dynasty, but they do go into it in one of those, like, E60 moments with the Seattle versus New England Super Bowl, where at the end of the game, people are telling Belichick, because the analytics, hey, call a timeout here. We should get settled, kind of figure out what we're going to do. And instead, Bill is feeling out the game, watching Pete Carroll to see what he's doing as he's calling his own play, sending out his own offense. And instead of calling a timeout, he doesn't. The play goes on, and it's the interception to Malcolm Butler. So, like, there is that feel out, part of it that doesn't get taken into account with those stats ever.
Let's not lose, fighting.
No.
Because we find some stats that say no good. We can find stats that say real good.
Exactly.
There's all that type of stuff. And let's just keep it in the game.
My bad. Did you see Rupper? Rupper got interviewed. He and Jody Shelley were in the crowd, and they went up after all the fights happened, and they interviewed both of them, talking about how great it was for the game and how great the fighting was.
I did not see that. That happened live during game?
WWE superstar Jackie Redmond. She was the one interviewing both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Jody Shelley fought here. He was in Columbus and fought for the Blue Jackets forever, has 1 billion penalty minutes. He's the man. I really like the dude. And all of a sudden, he pops up with Rupper, and they both are saying, hey, yeah, this is good. We need this.
I love it. The other big conversation of the day, AJ Hawk, is that, maybe there's a league that's going to come together and overtake the NCAA and kind of put an end to all the chaos and madness that is college sports right now. College Sports Tomorrow, I believe, is the name of the group. Brian
Roll-up?
Roll-up?
Yeah,
Roll-up.
not how it's spelled, but
Roll-up, who's the right-hand man for Roger Goodell in the NFL, runs the business side of this entire thing. He is on the list of people that are kind of pushing this Super League. Gordon Gee, who's the president of West Virginia, is on board for this entire thing. And we called Pete Thamel in the first hour, AJ, and we said, hey, how optimistic are you about this potentially taking place? Then he said, well, I do think that the future of college football is certainly a question mark. 2 years from now, nobody knows what the hell it's going to look like. With that being said, I don't think you're just going to be able to tell Greg Sankey, thanks, you're done. I don't think you're going to be able to say, Tony Petiti, say it. Okay, you're done.
Get out.
I don't think you're going to be able to say to ESPN, Fox, CBS, and Peacock, hey, all those deals you signed with all these, gone.
Yep. Null and void.
There's just so much that is going to have to get kind of sorted for this to get figured out. But what Pete was basically saying is this is one particular group's answer in their eyes on how to fix the future, and there's going to be more. And I'm excited to see what comes out of the woodwork and potentially what the answer actually is, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, so Pete, he doesn't think this is going to be like this one's going to get through and figured out right away, does he?
No, Pete said Pete was not very optimistic about it. He said I wrote about this 6 weeks ago. He said, and a lot of this one's going to be tough.
Yeah.
This one's going to be tough, is how he explained it, AJ.
Just the amount of you laying it out, just a few of the things, like a few of the obstacles that you're going to face. Yeah, it's a good idea. It needs to happen. Probably it will eventually happen. I don't know when that is because to me it just seems like okay, yeah, here we go. Let's do this. All right, where do we start? Like, where do you even start to try to figure this out? Like, I don't know.
So you got to meet with the money first, I think. The money is probably what you need to meet with first. So you got to go to the networks, probably.
Yes.
And then if you were to get the network's approval, then you got to go to the conferences. And then you got to go to every school in the conference, because you're not just negotiating with the conference, because there's going to be some schools and some conferences that are going to say, well, we're not the same as.
Yeah.
If we're going to a professional league and you're buying our rights pretty much, like, we don't cost the same as Illinois does. We don't cost the same as Northwestern does. We're Ohio State. So then you got to go to the schools as well. And then somebody's going to have to stop by the NCAA in Indianapolis and tell them they're not worth a damn anymore. Yep. And then somebody's going to have to figure out what's going on with all the other sports. Do the other sports just remain the same in all the other schools? Because it says college sports tomorrow, but what if the sport doesn't make money? Are you still going to treat it like a professional league? I didn't
think about that. Didn't even think about the other sports when I'm thinking strictly football. But yeah.
Yes. Yep. Man. A lot of us did that, and then it got thrown, kind of forced to do it on the back end, because that's a real ripple effect that comes from this. It's like the amount of humans involved, the amount of egos involved, the amount of money involved, and the amount of different ideas that are probably involved right now. This can be tough to sort. That's why every time we talk about the college transfer portal and the NIL deal and being like, hey, we need guardrails. We still want the players to make money, obviously. We're on that side, have been on that side forever, but there's a lot of shit to figure out. And then I always say, we don't have the answer.
No.
I don't know what the answer is. I have no idea, because whenever you think like Roger Goodell, whenever you hear this Brian Roll-Up guy's name, you're like, well, is Roger Goodell involved? And then we reach out and we hear, no, Roger Goodell is not involved. This is Brian Roll-Up involved. It's like, okay. Do you guys have like Jeff Bezos involved?
Yep.
Do you have like Tim Cook involved? Do you have like Bob Iger involved? Do you have like Nick Khan involved? Do you have like the people that are going to be able to figure this out? Ari Emanuel?
Yeah.
Do you have $13 billion valuation?
Nice little payday.
Anyways, we move on. You're going to have a very good business person that is going to be running this. But the business person the way you're going to have to sell this is going to be like, hey, you're going to have to give up everything you're doing right now to do what? Wrangle complete chaos. Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds great. Let me do that. Well, what do we got to figure out? Everything. Every school, every TV. Like, nobody's going to want to do that. I have no idea how it gets fixed. And Pete Thamel says that 2 years from now it looks different than right now. I don't know. because for it to look different, that means somebody would have to come in and figure it out. And to figure it out is a task that I'm not sure many people are suited to figure it out. And if they are suited to figure it out, do they have time in their life to go figure it out? I don't know. I genuinely don't have high hopes that anything's different for the next few years.
No, and you talked about the public aspect of like the fans. Like if this is greeted by fans just going ape shit and being like, we hate this, then like that obviously affects things. People are just starting to kind of, I mean, I guess we'll see once this season starts, but people are just starting to come around on like hey, there's going to be 20 teams in the Big Ten this year. Like the SEC is expanding, and all the legwork and all the work they had to do for USC and Oregon and all these schools to come to the Big Ten. Do you think the commissioners and like the presidents of these universities are going to be like, all right, well, we've just been getting murdered and raked over the coals for the last however many years, trying to figure this out. Let's just say, you know what, screw it. We're going to throw all this stuff away and we're going to go, tackle this new venture. Like it's going to be several years because you would think that these conferences want to see what the expansion process is like over the next, few years and see how that changes everything.
Good luck out there, though. Hey, smart people. Figure it out. Okay, as we transition away from the future of college sports, although college sports are awesome right now. March Madness, men's and women's, breaking all records in viewership. College football breaking all viewership and records. I assume college hockey that we watched, the Frozen, breaking all records. Lacrosse is probably breaking. College sports is booming, which is why it's so enticing for all these people to try to figure it out.
For sure.
But I do have a funny fear that I don't know who's going to be able to make any changes for a while. I think we're going to be in a state of chaos for a good bit here.
Yeah.
Speaking of chaos, last week we debuted a segment, and there certainly was some.
A little bit.
But we think it's only right that if we have access to this one particular human, we'd be rude to society if we didn't display that this human exists.
Yep.
We were given a tour of a mill just a few weeks back. While walking through the mill, we met a man who was electric.
Yeah.
This guy was on top of it. He found me first. He filled my ear with like 1,000 different theories and ideas on sports. Ty came next, talked about everything he would do to fix the Big Ten in Iowa. Then Stefon Diggs walks by. He cracks a couple Italian jokes.
Yeah, he did.
A couple Italian jokes, but then boom, he's got it all. And what we realized after talking to him is this guy does get information in this mill.
Yeah.
But he never gets the full story simply. But that's what our job is.
That's right.
To kind of put the pieces of the puzzle into place that he doesn't have. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go back to the rumor mill with Donnie Dahn.
Hey. Gentlemen, good to see you again. How are we?
Hey, Donnie Dahn, great to see you. Nips to see you, pal. You look fantastic, genuinely.
I mean, what do you want me to do? When I was growing up, my nips were so hard they thought I could breastfeed. And I told them, no, I can't breastfeed. I just have hard nips. Sorry about it.
Yeah, last week you were on. You looked the exact same. Nips looked the exact same as well. I think this is just you. Certainly saw some complaints, but hey, this guy's in a mill. What do you want from us, right?
Exactly. I don't have the whole story. You already said it. You guys get the whole story. What I get are the rumors, and there are a lot of rumors in the mill. What do you want from me?
Like what? What are you hearing this week, Donnie Dahn?
Well, this week we do have a Kim Mulkey update, T's and P's to the LSU squad. They are no longer in the tournaments. Rumor has it Kim Mulkey will be doing a plethora of things this offseason. Of course, there's golf. There is, playing basketball. Movies. She will be watching movies. She won't be watching some films. Philadelphia. Milk. Brokeback Mountain. She allegedly, rumor has it, does not want to see those anymore.
Well, I didn't hear a single film critic conversation from Kim Mulkey ever.
Well, so funny. Pete is our movie guy, and he told me that those specific ones she does not want on her television. Now, I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking about, to be completely fair. I just know that's the rumor, and that's what I am hearing.
We don't. Once again, here we go. Back into the rumor mill with a bunch of BS. Those are good movies.
Great movies.
They won awards.
Bunch of Oscars out of those.
Anyways, what else you hearing down there, pal?
Well, on the men's side of the tournament, Pat, Zach Edey, we found out he does not have ED this weekend, actually. Foxy, I believe there's an audio clip that you have back there. Can you run it, please?
I got a boner.
What'd he say?
Hey, why don't you run that again?
I got a boner.
Did you hear that?
No, one more time.
I got a boner.
I did hear that, I think. Did you hear that, Donnie?
I did hear that, yeah. Zach Edey, 7'4", a lot of blood. You know where that blood goes after they win? Right to his penis. Rumor has it that the NCAA actually has an ED rule that Zach Edey, the reason he had a boner immediately after the game was because of the fact that the NCAA told him, hey, Zach, you can't have a boner during the game because when you're playing defense, the boner sometimes, the boner kind of slips around players. Allegedly, there's a hook. I don't know anything about it, but apparently it can slip around players, poke the ball out, and you're not allowed to get steals with your baby maker these days, which they should maybe change the rules, but that's just Zach Edey. You know, a lot of people are saying that his dick's so big it has an elbow. I don't even know what that means, how that would work. It kind of reminiscent of Jaden Daniels' elbow, if you will.
Okay.
If you see, basically, if you were to take Jaden Daniels from his shoulder to the tip of that elbow, just imagine like the tip of a penis, if you will. That's kind of like Zach Edey.
Got it. Yeah, we heard that, and I don't think the NCAA made a rule that you can't have.
Rumor has it, no boners for Zach Edey allowed while he's playing basketball. That's why after I got a boner, he was so bummed.
Donnie, yeah, we heard it. I don't think any of that's right, but
that's why actually rumor has it. That's why he didn't get on the ladder. It kind of like a tripod. He just leaned forward. Okay. He leaned forward, and then he had a little extra inches.
Yeah. What else you hearing down there, Donnie? Don? I don't think you've been right yet.
What? I would disagree. I'm definitely right on this one, Pat. Kind of crazy story coming out of the Masters. Tiger Woods, he had to bring 10 to 15, how do you say, fleshlights to Augusta because he is not going to be having sex during his time there. No sex till after the Masters is just the rumor right now. Yep, Foxy, I believe you have a little. Yeah, here it is. See, Tiger Woods, preparations, blah, 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 blah. He's not even having sex, which is, I mean, respect to Tiger. I have heard, though, sources are telling me, a rumor has it, Magic City in Atlanta is very prepared for Friday. Say Tiger's not feeling good because of the fact, and maybe he's not playing well, and he says, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Magic City, they have already made the accommodations. It has been rented out, and actually, funny enough, a guy you had on your show, I believe, PK Subban, he said elbow room in Fort Lauderdale, and that place also making accommodations in case Tiger wants to go back.
His name's PK.
That's not a strip club.
P.K. Okay, I thought it was PK Subban. That's what I was told. I apologize. Elbow room also going to be there if Tiger doesn't want the full Magic City experience.
Elbow room is not one of those rooms, but
when Tiger's there, you know the elbow we just showed, Zach Edey's elbow.
Yeah,
it's that kind of elbow room.
Okay, well, what I'm thinking is he's just focused. I don't think anything you said about Magic City. Okay, all right, okay. Anything else you're hearing down there, Donnie? Don?
This was a sad one, Pat. Rumor has it, the Colts are being murdered like racehorses right now, and we don't like that one bit. This is just
racehorses.
Yeah, it's bad. This is the football news I've been told from Freddie. Fred. Yep, Freddie told me. He said, and I believe he told me there was a guy, not Tone Diggs, S. Diggs is going to the Texans. And the Texans, which is a team in Dallas, like real cowboys, they're going to shoot the Colts players in the head, all 53 of them. They're going to cut them down at their knees, and they're going to execute them on site.
Donnie, that's
what I'm hearing. That's what Freddie told me. Fred. Thank you. Someone's listening. Foxy, yeah, there it is. Look at this guy right here. Apparently, he catches balls, even though he likes wearing shin pads. Joe Mixon. Are you kidding me? I know that guy's name. He mixes it up. And then the guy with the P next to his name. I think that stands for player, because Tommy Townsend. I know a Tommy Tom, and he's just as good as Tommy Townsend.
Yeah, the Colts. I think what happened was I said, "Oh, we're dead," because the Houston Texans have gotten so much better, and they won the AFC South last year. They're not actually died. That's not happening, Donnie.
Rumor has it they are murdering 53 people.
What else do you have? That's not true. All
right, that's just what I heard. Another one. This I don't know. There's a quarterback who goes by Mac. His real name's McCorkle. Allegedly, rumor has it, this guy can rap, which I saw him eating cookies and milk on TikTok for 3 years while he was playing up at a certain place, and now all of a sudden this guy can rap. I believe Foxy, you have it for us, please.
Sounds fly.
What's up, everybody? It's Mac Jones, and this is my Get to Know.
Hell yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah. Well,
no.
Just tell me.
Shut up, Donnie.
I don't really have too many, but I mean, I golf a little bit. I like to go fishing. Like to be on the beach. Like to do a little bit of rapping.
What?
Oh my God!
Cut. I'm just playing. I do though. I do. I got a couple songs, but I don't. Nobody knows about it. So I'm letting the world know that I'm not in New England.
What's that all about, Donnie Don? He's a rapper. I didn't know he was a rapper.
Very happy too.
Yeah, he is very happy, and you know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, he raps now because he's not in New England and Bill Belichick." I understand that. I regret to inform you guys that rumor has it he wasn't comfortable rapping in New England because Bob Kraft's really good friends with Meek Mill and P. Diddy, so he didn't want to get signed. He didn't want to get signed by a label. He's been seeing what's going on. He gets down to Jacksonville. Finally, he can kind of let his wings expand a little.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, out of respect for Matt, I'm glad for him. I'm more happy that now he doesn't have to go through the Diddy test, which allegedly rumor has it. We heard what that was about.
All right.
What was that? What was that block face? I don't even know who this other guy is.
All right.
But you know what I'm talking about when it comes to Diddy.
All right. Well, there's certainly a lot of things on the internet, and I'm assuming down there at the rumor mill, they are certainly escalating the story.
At the rumor mill, they're saying there's a whole new meaning to OBJ. That's just what they told me. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Odell Beckham Jr. is Indianapolis Colt, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Maybe the Patriots.
Yeah, that's OBJ forever is Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah,
that is who I'm talking about. What else you hearing, Donnie? Don?
Well, it's actually a monumental day at the rumor mill. Everyone's really, really happy. Rumor has it, finally, Dan Orlovsky got fired. And I couldn't tell you.
What?
When this news came through the wire, when the mill started hearing that Orlovsky got fired, even the foreman, Frankie 44, even he was like, hey, we're not working today. Orlovsky got fired. All bets are off.
He didn't get fired. He farted.
Really?
Yeah, he's not fired. Still here. Still what he is.
Loud.
Well,
really loud.
What am I, Paul standing next to 18 different strips, and then now you're telling Paulie's still here.
Yeah. He farted. He didn't get fired. He farted. Here's the clip, actually, Donnie. Don.
You got the clip of him getting fired?
No, farted.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like it's,
you hear that, Donnie? He farted. He didn't get fired.
You guys call that a fire? You should see what's firing off at the rumor mill.
Start fires. Yeah, you're fired a lot. Thank you so much,
Come
Donnie.
on, fire Orlovsky.
All right. Jeez. Yeah.
He's still there.
Orlovsky didn't deserve that.
No, he didn't.
We have to reiterate the fact that some of those things are based on truth, a lot of it not.
Sure.
And that's the rumor mill. You know, that is the rumor mill, and you guys see it. As soon as we talked to Donnie Don the first time, we said that guy's got to get the team.
Yeah, that's my gospel.
And AJ, I'll tell you, I don't know how many Don appearances we're gonna be able to have, but
sure.
Every time he pops on that screen with those nipples and that hard hat, I get excited. I get jacked up, AJ.
Just a matter of time before some big network hires him to be like their primetime news anchor.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about him potentially moving into the political realm.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great.
The election's coming up, yeah.
Donnie Don's going to get plucked out of that mill if he keeps doing what he's doing. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, on a completely different note, he's a Hall of Famer. A teammate of mine that I've been on the record both on this show today and in the past saying one of the greatest teammates of all time. Absolute superstar who never forgot that you can be humble and relatable to everybody on the roster. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer out of Syracuse University, Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, Dwight.
Hey, sorry about the rumor mill. Sorry about the rumor mill there. I think you just caught the tail end of it. A lot going on, Dwight.
Hey, absolutely hilarious.
Oh.
My goodness.
Hey, that's good journalism.
I was dying.
That's good journalism.
Hey, listen, man, Dahn, we love him.
Yeah, we certainly do, Dwight. Where are you at? You golfing right now? I know you're a big-time golfer, obviously.
Man, listen, I just got off the course. Listen, I probably set the course record for balls in the water on 18.
Okay.
It was absolutely terrible. I was donating balls left and right, like I was, I don't know, giving to the Salvation Army. I was like, here, you get a ball, you get a ball. It was terrible.
Very
It
nice.
was terrible.
Very nice of you to do that. Some scuba golfer will get in there and dig all those up. So we had a good round going into 18, then it was ruined?
Absolutely not. I don't even know why I even showed up today.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you. It's one of those days. Now, listen, if I was a professional, I'd be out there being professional, right? I'm an amateur. I'm a hack, and this is what I do. Good day, bad day. It is what it is.
You play a lot, though. I mean, hey, Freeney, you're out there a lot, aren't you? We should be getting good at some point, right?
You would think. Okay. You would think.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's talk about the thing that you're great at, not just getting good at. Whenever I watched you play football, and I think this is everybody's experiencing you for the first time, it was like a very natural reaction to be like so explosive, so powerful, and seemingly playing chess against the person that he's battling against the whole time. You also looked out for everybody else on the team, including the rest of the D-line, obviously. When you get your name called and you finally find out that you're going into the Hall of Fame, was there any feelings? Was this something that you knew was coming inevitably? Did you get overwhelmed with emotion? What were your thoughts when you found out that you finally made it in after being told to wait a little bit? And everybody that's ever played alongside you or watched you play football knew this day was coming, so congratulations.
Man, I appreciate it. You know, Pat, no matter how you try to prepare yourself emotionally, no matter how you think it's going to go, nothing compares to when you actually hear someone tell you that you're going to be in a football Hall of Fame, you know, and obviously, you know, being a finalist the year prior, I knew I was going to be in the conversation at some point. But, you know, you got guys like Jared Allen who deserves to be in and is still waiting. You know, Reggie Wayne, still waiting. So you don't really know. You know, I just knew this year, you know, after last year, I was going to put the blinders on. I was like, look, I only like to worry about things I can control for the most part. But this one is a hard one not to be so connected to. So I think I did a pretty good job, you know, and I was really surprised when the door opened and I saw Coach Dungy sitting right there and telling me, you know, look, Dwight, you're in a Hall of Fame. It was absolutely amazing. There's certain times in your life where time kind of stands still. And I would say that moment for me, like you can hear a pin drop. It was one memory that I'll never forget.
It was a beautiful video to watch, too. It was shared on social. And Tony Dungy being the guy to inform you is a beautiful thing, I could imagine. And I like the fact you said, I'm going to put my blinders on. I'm going to go shoot 110 on a golf course every single day. I'm not even going to
111.
It's awesome. Go ahead, AJ.
Dwight, I'm curious about like your progression from when you got in the league until the end. Like when you came into the NFL, were you already like a student of the game and a student of pass rushing and how a team might try to block you and everything? I know at least you know, later on in your career, you absolutely seem like a scientist, how you would dissect offenses and blocking schemes and what you wanted to do. Was that something you learned along the way, or do you come in with that?
Well, I mean, look, when you're young, you're dumb. It just is what it is. It's just part of the, you know, recipe. You know, you always want to match up, you know, your experience and your knowledge with your speed and explosiveness or whatever. And it never really matches up until later, you know. So when I first got in, I was just fast running around the corner. Didn't know much. But, you know, I was very blessed to have a great coach named John Turling. John Turling, I think, is a Hall of Fame. Yes, rest in peace. Hall of Fame defensive line coach, coached a lot of greats. And he sat me down, taught me the right way to kind of study the game. And that's, you know, what helped me. You know, my first, second year, I was learning from him, who he's been a player and a coach for so many years. So he kind of caught me up to speed pretty quickly on, you know, how you should look at it, how, you know, from a protection standpoint, how this tackle is setting, what do you need to do? So if it wasn't for JT, I know I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hell yeah, JT. Rest in peace, dude. You did good. And to his family that's either listening or watching, what a legend. And they knew that. JT was the one that told me that in preseason games, I need to punt the ball and get the fuck off the field. It's exact words. Not a lot of, obviously, that's getting muted on ESPN, but on YouTube and ESPN Plus, that was a real deal. I got blindsided We were punting against somebody in the preseason. I punted the ball. Big return came. Guy looping around, shoulder right into my chest, like right into my chest. And I have that whole thing happen. So like I hit the ground a little bit, and then I come walking off the field, still can't breathe. I sit down on the defensive side of the bench, because that's open then because the defense on the field. We just gave up horrible field position. And JT comes over, big dude. Monster of a man, huge man. He comes over. This is the first time like he has talked to me, and he sits down next to me, and he gives me the kid treatment, and he goes, if it's the preseason, you punt the ball and you get the fuck off the field. And I said, he said, because they're going to score right now and nobody cares. Guess who cares? Nobody cares. Okay. So you punt the ball and you get off the field. And if you don't, we will have problems. Okay. And I was like, you got, like losing my breath. And then he patted me on my leg so hard. And then he used my leg to get up. He used my leg to get up. And then he walked away. And it was like from that moment forward, I felt like we were friends almost. And then you have a couple like beers with the guy. He was like the greatest. And I don't think anybody ever really talks about him much, D. I really don't think that is the case.
Absolutely not. The question I have for you is, did you get treatment on your leg after JT put his weight on your leg?
Freeney, I did have a bruise from the middle of the quad all the way down to the knee, but couldn't do it. Yeah, he was a legend. That team you guys had was so, I got to catch the tail end of it, obviously. Just the chemistry and the group of people was so magical, and obviously you're one of the leaders, always have been. Tone's got one of the questions for you.
Yeah, Dwight, have you talked to Jim Irsay yet about your Hall of Fame gift? Because I'm not sure if you know. He bought Edgerrin James a Phantom, which I believe is, the price tag on that is not, it's not cheap. So I don't know if it's the same deal.
And he also left money in the glove box.
I don't know if it's the same deal for all Colts that go into the Hall. Have you talked to Jim about that yet?
I need to talk to him. Okay, I need to talk to him. Jim loves us. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I would say about Jim is he loves us to death. We love him. He would do anything for us.
Agreed.
So that might be a conversation I need to have.
Yeah, you should. You absolutely should. Especially now. I probably love hearing from you. But then also, you're like, oh, Free, I got this $900,000 car on back order right now. It's supposed to be coming to your golf course. Yeah, but put it down by the 18th hole. Little prize for whenever you shoot a 15 on 18. Ty's got a question for you, Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight, with your skill set, obviously that would have translated to any time in the NFL. But do you think it would have been more difficult to have the kind of career you had with today's rules? Now we're seeing guys who they get a clean hit on the quarterback and it's roughing, and all these different ways that they're kind of trying to diminish how the defense plays. Like, do you ever kind of look back and say, like, oh, thank God I played in the era I did and I'm not playing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Every game I sit there and say, I retired at the perfect time. It's for me, look, when you get around that offensive tackle, and I really implore the NFL to have more guys that play defensive line in those meetings. So they can really understand how hard it really is when you're a guy, especially like my size, right? I'm an undersized defensive end. I have to go 100%, 100 miles per hour around the offensive tackle. All right. Now that offensive tackle is not trying to let me just hit their quarterback. He's 350 pounds and pissed off. So I'm rounding around the corner. I have to beat him. My momentum is going to just take me wherever it's going to take me. And hopefully the quarterback is sitting right there so I can run right over him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just what it is. That is how you play the game of football. So I understand what the NFL is trying to do. They're trying to, preserve and, hey, be careful, don't hurt the quarterback and all of that. But this is a violent game.
It always will be.
Sometimes it always will be. Sometimes, hey, if the quarterback's there and he's there, hey, and if they're going to call it, they're going to call it. If they're not going to call it, they're not going to call it. That is just kind of how the game is turning out to be now. And it's based on the refs. If the refs maybe having a good day, hey, maybe he lets you go with a couple of times you hit him a little bit too hard. But if he's having a bad day, you have no chance.
AJ, I saw a couple hip drop tackles in there. I don't know about
Yikes.
Yeah, I did too.
Those hip drop tackles? Kick them out of the game,
bit.
Doug?
What do you think of those, Dwight? What do you think about the hip drop tackle situation?
I can't even understand it. I honestly, I can't even understand it. I don't get it. how are we supposed to get guys down? Like, you got to figure out a way to make it even across the board, offense and defense. I get it. Protect offensive players. People get hurt, but it is what it is. You can't stop it. It's inevitable. People are going to get hurt. It is what it is.
Hey, I think they were trying to ban that spin move there for a bit. Hey, why was it so effective, you think? You were just faster than everybody? You think that what it was?
Well, I think for me, is everything was predicated on speed, Pat. So, with the fear of speed on the outside, the offensive tackle had to get his feet moving to stop me. All right. And I think you kind of alluded to it in the beginning. It's not playing checkers, it's kind of chess. So, I know he can't stop everything. So if I'm running around the corner 100 miles per hour and he's blocking me, good for him. He's blocking me, but that also means he's committing to the outside speed. And I can pull the spin move. And then he starts to sit on the spin, then I go back outside.
And then we...
Bull.
Yeah. And then whenever he doesn't know what's coming, we bull rush him. Zito just looked this up. He told me, coming out of Syracuse, you were 255, ran a 4.39. Is that real?
268. Okay, I was 268 coming out of college, and I ran, you won't even believe me.
What?
I ran a 4.38 at Syracuse, and they had to prorate it a 10th because I did not run it at the combine. So they had to add 10 to it. So it became 4.48. But hey, I ain't complaining.
4.38? You were a 4.38 at 268?
I ran 4.38 at Syracuse, and because I didn't run at the combine, they had to add.
What the hell does that mean? How do you even? You still can move a little bit? We can still move a little bit, you think?
I can't move anything but the golf ball in the wrong direction.
Okay,
that's all I got.
Hey, you're maybe one of the most. You're maybe one of the most explosive people that have ever existed. 4.38 at 268.
Yeah, it's absurd.
I didn't even
unheard of.
Hey, good for you, dude. Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. Yeah. That's Hall of Famer. Connor's got a question about another one of those.
Yeah, Dwight, for the first time in like half a century, Bill Belichick won't be coaching in the NFL. Do you have any thoughts around that? Because obviously, Pat has mentioned before, like the chip block was basically invented by Bill Belichick to try and stop you. Do you think the game will, pass over him, or do you think probably, next year, next cycle, Bill's coming back to the NFL?
Well, speaking on the chip, he kind of created the tight end off the ball chip. The receiver. What is he even doing in the pass protection? Type of deal. But I think Bill is a genius, man. I think Bill is one of the greatest coaches that ever coached the game. He relates to the players, from a football perspective. It's hard to keep a guy like him out of the game because he knows so much. I think the only thing that will stop Bill is when Bill decides, you know what, I'm done. Somebody's going to pick Bill up. Somebody's going to, every year you have 4 or 5 teams that fire their head coach every single year.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This year is not going to be any different. And Bill's going to be sitting right there and he's going to get the pick of whatever he wants to, wherever he wants to go. All right. But it's, it is what it is. He's getting older. We all know he's in his 70s.
Whoa.
And I think, you hear, hey, is he relatable to the players? But man, listen, this man has how many rings? 7, who knows, 8, whatever he has. There's a reason for that because he knows what he's doing. All right. And the last 3 or 4 years, they didn't win because they really didn't have the talent.
Wow.
And that's just what it is.
Well, the quarterback was rapping the whole time.
Yeah.
I just learned.
That's right.
So I learned. Freeney, enjoy the hell out of your life, man. You've earned everything that you got, legitimately. And whenever I talk about you being like one of the most humble teammates of all time, you weren't supposed to be like that. You're a superstar. You're 268 running 4.38.
Exactly.
You're a cool dude, man. You're one of one. Congrats.
All right, pal. I love you, man. Y'all take care.
How's cornhole? You getting better at that?
Man, listen, whenever you're ready. I hadn't played it since, but you know me. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dwight Freeney. Thank you, buddy. He was.
You know me?
He was a horrendous cornhole player.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah, not good. But he did have an eye for talent. I was a pretty good cornhole player. So I'd get how we feeling today on the boards? Pretty good. All right, we're going 1,000 M&Ms against blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah per point. Yep.
Got it. Sure.
let's go do that. Let's go do that. It was awesome. He was so cool, man. There was, obviously everybody knows about my public intoxication. That was definite. Now the story, who knows? But there was a few other evenings where I was with a couple teammates, and that was back before Uber, And taxi's not like the most prevalent thing. And he was always like one text away, and then a limo would show up. And it's like, it was like it was a cool thing. And he, hosts card games every once in a while for people to come hang out. It's like he was so cool, and he was so wealthy
and so good at football.
So good at football.
You're telling me he'd send a driving crooner to come pick you up anytime
exactly.
you're around?
What? Exactly. While we were just standing there, and I don't think I was the person that sent the text. I think it might have been like Feely Moala, who was on the D line, sent the text, and then like 15 minutes later, limo just pulls up right in front of us, and like door opens.
This is us.
Okay. Excuse me. All right, this is awesome. I live down that road. Yeah. All right. Here we go. It was like really cool. That's a good teammate. That's old school stuff. I'm happy he's going in the Hall of Fame. We'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus. We're live from WWE World tomorrow with a packed show. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. All right. Right on screws.
Yep. Yeah, that one.
Well done.
That one
Well
felt
done.
good.
That one comes out of nowhere, though. The 53 comes out of nowhere. 57 kind of good. Dahn had a pretty extended stay on the show today, didn't he?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was taking a dump for it, but I watched it. It was a while.
I did see you get up and leave there mid dude wipes.
Yeah, well, exactly. I needed the dude wipes, and they came through because I pooped out a couple hot dogs, which is a good thing that we learned from the poop chart that we've been looking at.
What's that?
So there are marbles. The types of the way your poop should look. Hot dogs apparently is the perfect way it's supposed to look.
Hot dogs or hot snakes.
So whenever you're talking about like how pee is supposed to be lighter colored,
Bingo.
as opposed to yellow colored, depending upon how healthy you are, the shape of your turds can also determine what you got going on.
Correct.
And we're looking for hot dog shaped turds.
Yes.
Let's get to a break.
Just for people that are about to poop and use their dude wipes
I found
right
this
now.
out. Not good for me, my friend.
Yeah.
You got a rabbit deer poop?
I haven't had a solid shit in years.
Don't been dealing with spray paint for quite some time.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah,
Really?
I've been told.
Here's the Bristol stool chart here. Okay. Type 7's what Tone's been doing. He's way too young to be dealing with that, I think, is what some people would say.
Yep.
Type 1 is the rabbit, separate hard lumps.
Yeah, good.
Those are tough to get out.
Yep.
Sounds like as it's going.
Bullets and
Probably a splash coming. Type 2, lumpy and sausage-like. That's how the sausage is made.
That's right.
Truly.
Sausage-shaped cracks, that's normal.
Yeah.
Like a smooth soft sausage or steak.
Yep, that's the one you want.
There it is.
That's the one we're looking for.
Looking for type 4 always.
Kind of like an original hot dog.
Yeah.
The O.
Yeah, Hebrew National.
Boom. The O's hot dog. I don't think you want a stiff skin around the outside.
No, not
casings.
Yeah, no casing. There it is. Do you remember the first time you had an original hot dog from the O or whatever? I don't know what to call it. It's the O, and they have hot dogs.
Original hot dogs.
Have you ever had this before?
No, I don't think so.
Is it a restaurant? What is it?
Came into Plum. Big deal. Oh, it's a big to-do. Right across the street from Smarty Artie's. So it's in now Smarty Artie's would inevitably go down because it was actually a massive cocaine moving operation.
Good wings.
It's
So
Plum.
good.
Great.
It's Plum, of course. Greatest wings I've ever had in my entire life. People actually said these wings have crack in them. They got to. Well,
Turns out
the whole operation behind the kitchen was moving a lot of cocaine.
That's why I'm addicted to wings now.
Tone love wingy.
Yeah, right down the street.
Eats them in bed.
The O comes into town, right across the street. Big to do. We're talking lines to get in. All that shit. You finally get in there. They had the bar games, which was cool. Little games on the bar.
Yep.
They serve you, I don't know, enough fries for 14 people to eat.
Yes.
Probably is a one
That's
serving.
everything, yeah.
damn.
It was like super duper amount of
Full
fries.
tray.
Like Five Guys kind of.
Whole tray was just
Wait,
fries.
But bigger, but more.
Triple Five Guys.
Jeez.
No way they're making any money off these potatoes.
Yep.
Type service.
Okay.
And then you get a hot dog, and the first time you bite into it, it's like you got a crack. They had like a seal around it.
Oh.
And then you get inside of
Casing
it.
was hard.
I was not a fan of that.
That
gross.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that's
I
disgusting.
was not a fan. The fries, though, were delightful.
Did it stay around? What happened to them?
The O's no longer there, I don't think.
No, I think the one in Oakland, which was the original one on Pitt's campus, also closed.
Well, I think they actually got. I think there's so
There's
many
the original.
bullets that shot the sign down in Oakland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't for lack of business.
Yeah, we were. I've been there. Been there a lot late
That was
night.
a great late
They'd
night
have
spot.
Great late night.
Great
But
40s.
Every once in a while, you would hear, "Are those
40s.
M80s outside?" No, those are actual gunshots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They had pizza, too. It actually smelled like pure vomit, but tasted delicious.
Yeah, once again, this is a PK Subban rating.
Yeah.
This is happening 3:30, 3 a.m.
Okay.
College years. But the O was it only Pittsburgh?
I think so.
I never heard of it.
Never.
Hell of a run. Hell of a run. Quick.
Great late night
Need that.
40
That's
spot
all I can
as well. Go in there, pick up a couple Sixers, couple 40s.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was like the most Pittsburgh. I mean, it was like a Pittsburgh place. That makes sense.
A Mickey's grenade. Yeah.
Oh, please.
Here's a heart attack worth of
Mickey's
fries.
malt liquor.
Shout out to Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, this third hour is about to be something.
So good.
Yeah.
Kelsey Plum's joining us. That'll be a lot of us telling her that the Las Vegas Aces era is over.
Yep. Good run.
Because the Indiana Fever are now the team.
Yep.
All eyes on us. That's what it's going to be like.
Bingo.
Everybody's going to be watching.
Sold out every night. They're going to want to play in Indiana. I mean, that's just.
They do, right? The Aces play the Fever twice.
Yes.
We were told, come to the game. We were told, come to the game.
Oh.
We want you to watch. That's what we were told. By Aces members at the All-Star game. We were told that.
June, I believe.
We're sitting down. Well, the seat thing was a whole thing, but we ended up sitting down. Right next to me, two women.
Mm-hmm.
They shout out to Kelsey Plum across the court. Learn, okay, you guys part of the Aces. First thing I say, sorry about it, it's over. The Fever are coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they responded right back. Okay, I don't know who it was, but the one girl who was just eating the popcorn in our face, we hope you're there. Come watch. Oh, we will be.
We're gonna be. I mean,
we bought season tickets so we could see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
She was so rattled, she knocked over her drink.
As soon as she put it down, bah,
Boom.
boom.
Oof.
I think she's a very good player.
She is very.
From what I've been told.
Both of them, I
Very,
believe, start.
Very good players.
Okay. Okay.
Very, very good players. We were a little boozed up.
That happened.
Sure.
We just came back
back-to-back champs?
Yes.
It was snowing out.
We came back. It was right after our last supper there before we all took a break.
Mm-hmm.
The espresso martinis.
Flowing.
Plenty of
like the salmon of Capistrano.
Bingo. And then we're at an all-star game. Micah just dunked. Puka's dunking.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud's missing shots.
All over the place.
Does he have the clutch gene?
September 11th, Fever host the Aces. September 13th, Aces still in town. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough when it is.
I thought they play earlier in the year, too.
That's going to be tough.
Maybe not.
Wednesday game we can make it to, right?
Wednesdays for sure. The Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays.
How long is that season?
Friday.
Well, you got the big three. There's 10 of them at least.
What day of the week was that first one?
True.
Wednesday.
How many teams in the league?
12.
They all play each other twice, I think.
Okay.
We got scolded because we didn't know. We're like, will you play the Fever? Yeah. Okay.
Whoa, jeez.
Just make sure I didn't know you guys are the same conference or
You're
not.
far away. I didn't know.
I think it's 40 games, 30
Who
games.
was next to me? I need to. She was electric.
Yeah, she's very good.
I don't know who. She was electric.
Pull up the roster. Pull up the roster and see if you recognize.
We'll ask Kelsey when she joins. Let's take a break. We'll ask her.
Sure.
Say who was next to me. And then the girl that was next to her from Indiana went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
First round pick, 2 doors down.
Starter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point guard, I think.
I think the Aces could potentially actually be the team that we should be a fan of.
They're very good.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Think so.
No, we got the young horse. You want the one that's
what I'm
going to
Got a
be at the top.
Couple thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
Leah Boston, too.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Molly said earlier today on First Take, now she graduated from UConn, has a lot of connections with the Huskies.
Sure.
Bud.
Goes to UConn women's basketball games throughout the year.
Okay.
She said if Paige Buckets didn't get hurt, we wouldn't be talking about Caleb.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that so?
And now everybody's talking like Molly is a journalist when she's saying that, as opposed to an alumni that's talking shit. But nonetheless, the women's March Madness is fantastic. I'll ask Kelsey about that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly's dead wrong, but I mean, she's entitled to say whatever she wants to say.
Just like you, as an Iowa alum,
Bingo.
are able to say whatever the hell you want.
Exactly.
And she did get hurt.
Yeah.
Couple
And I like her talking shit.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you got people on the internet. It's like she's talking shit about her school. What are we
doing?
Let her
We
be.
like this.
Proud
Yeah,
mom.
yeah.
Talk shit back.
Exactly.
Definitely, but let's not be getting offended. That's the whole different ball game there. Let's get to a break. Is this Cody or Roman?
Oh, shit.
That's Roman.
Oh,
Whoa.
Which
Try-
tag team? Which night here?
You know, this is his night too.
Night 2.
Cody. We don't shoot for the tribal chief.
You're right.
Cody?
Yeah.
You're so right.
That's
Too
bad.
Bummer.
Universe could have put it in, Cody.
Man.
I love Cody.
Who does? Such a good guy.
We're going to talk to him tomorrow, 12:30
Yeah.
Eastern. We love Cody. I shake his hand. I'm like, Cody, you're like coolest dude.
So nice.
Works so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Tons Miz coming.
He spit in our face.
Well,
in
we don't know.
Chicago.
We don't know. Who?
Cody.
What do you mean?
I saw him backstage. He spit in my face.
He didn't.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
Tony's acting like
that
he's
might
not
be
the
my
biggest
fault.
dog
He
of
tried
all
to talk
time.
to me, and I said, "Sorry, pal. I'm bloodline, brother."
Yeah, this sounds like all fake.
No,
is this Donnie Don?
No, this is backstage, brother.
Well,
I was
Donnie
back
Don
there.
Don is facts.
Well, real quick, we don't know that. The rumor mill didn't spell that information today. Let's remember when we're backstage, too, we're not,
Yeah, I was gonna say
not in the way,
I tried to hide behind every box I possibly could.
And then when you saw Cody, you said, "Excuse me."
No, he found me.
And he spit in your face.
I was like a rat in the corner. I couldn't have been more out of the way.
Let's get to a break.
3 different corners.
Cody Rhodes is a good man.
He is.
Great man.
He was actually very affable, very nice
guy.
to all of us.
So,
He was
so friendly.
He was.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Yeah. Boom. Right there.
maybe until tomorrow when we talk to him.
Yeah, he'll have an opportunity.
And Michael Cole is just going to be,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Doing the whole thing.
Let's get to a break. Kelsey Plum's on the other side. She's WNBA champion, former scoring champ of women's college basketball, and friend of the program.
Hell yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again. It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever.
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
Oh yes, Spinebuster! Think of your children. Oh, what a kick Riddle just took out. And taking out the Miz. Oh, the punt to end this thing.
Ain't nothing Lady Grey can't handle.
Turn left onto 33rd Street.
They said to come to the loading dock. Yeah, they want to set up a shot, so they're going to come out with cameras and show that we're tailgating. Tailgate spot. Do a U-turn? Is that what he's saying? We're just doing a U-turn. Want to move up?
And this guy tells Zeke, yeah, hey, just follow that car right down that way. And so we're thinking, okay, no problem.
Backing up.
So Zeke moseys on down this way and just fucking
God. Jesus Christ. Oh. I think it's stuck. Fuck. you guys. Like, come on, dude.
Who told you to go through here?
These guys did.
Nah, you were supposed to come through this shot, like right here. I didn't tell you to go through there.
You told me
Yeah, right down this lane here.
Fuck.
Left side.
Come on, guys. Fucking A. I'll be looking out there. Oh, fuck.
So what you just heard was a RV that was clearly too tall for an awning that was hanging over. And Zito was going so fast in that the entire RV ended up under the awning.
Yep.
And it wasn't until they were all the way under that Zito said, "Oh, I think we're stuck." And at that moment, he puts it in reverse and rides back through all of it. And that's what the piercing sound of metal that you heard ripping through.
Fuck, wish we could do. Fucking dude. Did I fucking everything up there? The backside fucked too? How's it going, sir? Yeah. Yeah, they just keep fucking sending us through here.
They're sending somebody out, just hang tight, alright? Did you check the top?
It's destroyed.
Scratched up?
No, like the whole thing is. Oh, fuck. Like, they're gonna fucking send me fucking through somewhere.
Everybody all right in there?
Yeah.
Stay calm. Yeah, you're right. Stay calm, kid.
They told you to go through. You went through. So I get clearance.
I am on the bus with the rest of the WWE roster driving by. There's 2 fire trucks, there's a cop, there's paramedics, there's quite a scene.
Fucking A. How's it going, sir? Oh, yeah, they sent me through, and I was just like, alright. Yeah.
And we're just rolling by going into the fucking MetLife Stadium, and I get a Corey Graves. Is that your RV?
Yeah, you guys hear about McAfee's guys? Drove a fucking RV into the arena? Into the arena.
That road to WrestleMania, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's the furthest I've ever seen any vehicle get underneath that fucking awning. Look at the ladder on the back of the RV, it's almost fucking off.
Light bulbs are falling. The ceiling
God.
is made of styrofoam. There's styrofoam dust falling everywhere.
The air conditioning unit probably weighs like 250 pounds. And it's just laying up there, and we're like, what should we do with this? The guy's like, oh, it's a rental. You want to fucking take that with you? Trust me. You gotta be shitting. So eventually, he was like, yeah, actually, it's leaking a good deal of coolant. Why don't you just throw it down the fucking hill over there?
You know what? I mean, the damage is gone. I was over there. It was left there at the accident. It's gone.
Yeah, like, damage is already done. Just throw that thing down the fucking hill.
It was a good run. It was a good run.
We thought you were going to fire us all, going to be so pissed. And then we look at the group chat, and you say, boys, the hashtag road to WrestleMania is not always a smooth one. Somebody send the RV agreement to Phil. And then in all caps, with a quote, we took the roof off at the MetLife.
So I'm looking around, the cop's like, I was trying to explain to the cop, like, this guy, and I'm like looking around, no one's there, and I'm like, shoot, and he was basically telling me it was supposed to be a $500 ticket. So he was like, but I brought it down at $85. But I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, it wasn't my fault. The guy told me to go. He was like, well, it was careless of you to go.
Let's get the fuck out of here. That was wild. Absolutely insane. All things considered, I think we're okay. $85 ticket? So what was the ticket for? Careless driving. And I was like, is it careless fucking instructions?
I think it's low enough now if you want to make it on fast.
Go, go, go.
Hey, we're good.
Appreciate you guys.
1. Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this WrestleMania Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! That was a good one. I feel like we're really in unison there.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good hour. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Good to see you, Con Man, after the battle you had with the John.
Good to see you too, Pat. Glad it's over.
Yeah, I'm happy that you were able to get all that shit out.
Had to do it. Shout out to Dude Wipes. If I didn't have them, I would be screwed.
Hey, amen. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Stefon Diggs is here. All the boys in the back, you're absolutely crushing it. Joining us now is we're talking special athlete.
Yep.
Former all-time leading scorer for all of women's college basketball. Like the history of women's college basketball.
Long time.
Leading scorer. First overall pick in 2017 WNBA draft.
Dang.
She's all WNBA, obviously. Multiple-time champion. I think she's representing the country that we live right now.
Love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, Kelsey Plum.
Yeah, Kelsey!
How we doing?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, life is good. Where are we right now? I heard you're with Team USA. What are you guys doing? What are we preparing for? Where are we? Frozen.
Oh.
Is it?
Uh-oh. Oh, did you lose me?
No. We all went frozen there for a second there. No worries at all. Where are you right now? What are we doing?
I'm in Cleveland, baby. I'm here for the Final Four, here for Team USA. We're training for the Olympics. All good things.
Okay, so congrats. So you're on the team? Yes, on the team, obviously.
Oh, no. They haven't announced the team officially till the end of May, I think.
Okay, so I knew there was something going on. Well, congrats on making a team.
Yeah.
Congrats.
No, I didn't.
You're on the team.
They didn't announce it yet.
Yeah, but this is like whenever somebody has a birthday a month from now, and it's like, hey, just want to get this out. Probably not going to see you. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
This is a congratulations on making a team. Thank you for representing our country. Thanks for representing our country, Kelsey.
Joy parents.
Hell yeah. Let's go. We. That's what we're talking about. Okay, Kelsey, let's talk about the future of the WNBA, which runs through Indiana.
Yep.
With the Indiana Fever. Okay, I know we had a little bickering, and I know there were some other conversations with some other Las Vegas Aces, but how do you all feel about Caitlin Clark? Because I assume, especially you, because your record got broken and everything, there could be a sense of hating of Caitlin Clark, or do we appreciate what's happening with Caitlin Clark and women's basketball as a whole through this entire thing, Kelsey?
Oh, brother, I have too much to be thankful in life to hate anybody. But I'm
Love that.
I'm hyped for her. I think it's great for the game. But I do want to back up, and I want you to tell America what you told me in Indianapolis.
What's that?
You and your boys.
What's that?
During NBA All-Star.
Truth.
What's that?
All the trash you were talking. I want you to say it live here for the people.
We're a little boozed up.
Sure.
Okay? We had just got done from a pretty good dinner.
Yeah, it's 6-7 espresso martinis.
What do you want from us?
A piece.
And we learned just recently before that Caitlin Clark was now on our team.
Bingo.
Okay, Pistol Pete couldn't hold this lady down.
Nope.
But now she's on the Indiana Fever. So, we run into you, a couple other Las Vegas Aces, and we had followed along with the back-to-back WNBA championship. And we might have just said, quickly in the moment or two, hope you had your fun. Indiana Fever are now the next 10 champions.
That's right.
That is awesome that we're running this whole thing. So that did happen. We would like to say. And also, I got the names. Kelsey, who was sitting right next to me? That was Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Your team is Jackie Young talks so much shit to me. I've never just immediately talking shit to me. And then somebody behind her, I think Bruce was like, Sabrina is so good all year. And then she plays against you guys and she doesn't have her good games. And she just started doing the popcorn, eating the popcorn. And then I learned that Chelsea Gray, I believe, is from Indiana. Drafted out of Notre Dame, right? I think.
That's Jackie. That's Jackie.
Shit. Okay, you get it. You get it. These two here, okay? Awesome. Very nice and talking shit to us. You talking shit to us. You being on a show. We're supposed to be Las Vegas Aces fans.
Exactly.
We're supposed to be. We are supposed to be. But the Caitlin Clark wagon's coming to Dahn. And the Caitlin Clark wagon is coming to the WNBA, and we're hopping on board with
On the wagon.
Yeah, bingo.
On the wagon.
Yeah, we're on there. And it's our league now. Sorry.
I respect you for being honest. What I love about you is that you just started watching WNBA yesterday. So all the knowledge, all the knowledge.
We're
that
season
you do have-
ticket holders.
Yeah, how about that?
We're
Listen,
season
now you
ticket.
are.
No, we are season ticket holders.
For years.
I don't even know what you're even referring. We saw you guys win back up.
Yeah.
We saw that. We were watching it. We know.
No. I think you should keep the same energy that you have now, and we'll talk at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, you're going to see us a
Damn
couple
right.
times.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
We'll be in the finals.
Yeah, September 11th. It's a Wednesday. I believe you're coming to the absolute terrible barn. I mean, just the loudest barn in the WNBA.
The other loud house.
Yeah, the other, and then you're coming here, and we're going to be there. We're season ticket holders. We already said that, so we'll be there. We'll see you.
I can't wait, fellas.
When's the season start? When do we start? Soon, right? We're starting soon?
Yeah, opening night is May 15th.
Okay, you guys have a full banner ceremony like the NFL has like a ring ceremony on the first night? Does that happen?
We do. We have a ring ceremony opening night, and they drop the banner. We get our rings. Hopefully this year they're spelled correctly on the ring.
Oh no!
Jesus.
Just a little bit of a mistake. But that happens. You know what I mean?
Mark Davis.
but-
What was spelled wrong?
How little?
Yeah.
How little?
It was, they have your number, your name, and then your position, and it said guard. But I'm dyslexic, so I actually read it properly, but it was read G-A-U-R-D.
Oh, no.
That's actually confusing. It's like restaurant.
Yeah.
That's how Mark Davis spells, though. Right there. What are you going to do?
I don't know if he's the one making the ring.
I figure he's the one filling everything out for him.
I don't know if he filled out the forms for what you're supposed to do. That might have just been last ring.
Yeah, a little slip.
We got to get through this entire thing.
Just get through it. Yeah, just get through it.
Okay, so let's talk about this March Madness because you brought up the point. We had different three-point lines on one of these. I mean, what the hell? This women's March Madness is electrifying, but there's no way in hell that those different three-point lines should ever happen. And then you just talk about the ring being spelled wrong. It feels like women's basketball right now is in an uptick. You can feel that, I assume. And have women's basketball players always been like, we deserve to be watched more and seen more because everything we're acknowledging right now is kind of happening in real time?
I think that's a great way to put it. I also think that, the game has been very good for a long time, but we're actually seeing, the visibility. And we're seeing, games on ABC. We're seeing really high-level talent, and we're seeing a lot more parity in the women's game. I think in prior years, it was more of like maybe one or two teams that are consistently always at the top, and now we're seeing, people like LSU, they're growing. Obviously, South Carolina's been there, UConn's been there, but then someone like Caitlin at Iowa takes her team consistently to the Final Four. So it's really cool to see the parity, but, we've had some really good players in women's basketball for a long time, so I'm just glad that people are tuning in and they're liking the product and got to keep them coming.
Hell yeah. Congrats to you all, by the way, for making this, it's a cool movement that's happening right now. Legit. Go ahead, AJ.
Kelsey, I believe you played a few years professionally over in Turkey. And I'm curious about how that went, what it was like playing over there. And is that something that a lot of WNBA players do in the offseason?
I really appreciate you asking that. I did. I played in Turkey, in Istanbul specifically for 3 years. And yeah, we do not as much anymore because of the opportunities that companies have been giving us in the months that we're out of season to be able to make money in the United States. But hey, I actually loved my experience overseas and built a lot of character. I got to work on my game a ton. And it's hard, you're away from your family and friends, but at the same time, when you get back to the United States, you really appreciate it. And, I love playing in front of my family here. And so I don't take that for granted every time I step on the court.
So that would be like in the off season, WNBA season would lead right into Istanbul season?
That's correct. Yeah, I was exhausted.
Yeah, I could imagine. I could fathom that. But I think that was happening because business reasons. You just talked about it in the offseason now, which leads to, go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Kelsey, obviously the big three offer that Caitlin Clark got has been a huge conversation. And to your point right there, like instead of doing the overseas year-round and getting exhausted with the basketball, how did you feel about the big three with Caitlin Clark offer? And do you think there is potential there to do something, or it being in the middle of the WNBA season is just too much for her to do, especially in her first year?
I mean, It's an individual basis, but I know that she's not the only one that's gotten offers. And I think that it'll be interesting to see. That's a lot of money for only like 10 games, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
So you'll see. It'll be interesting because it is an Olympic year. I don't suspect you'll have maybe a high level of like people that go, but in other years, shoot, guys.
Wait, hold on.
know.
You just broke some news there, I think, and just kind of, I don't know if you did. So you said other people get the offers, but then you also said, hey, that's only 10 weeks because our immediate thought is, can she handle it with the WNBA schedule? Because I think you guys play what? Wednesday,
Friday, Sunday.
Sundays. Yep. This would be happening on Saturdays. It's 10 weeks if you win it all, I think 8 if you just a regular season in that. And we started like piecing it together, though. She's probably having a workout at least that day anyways. Would you just supplement the Big 3 game as a workout? You think it's doable? And she's not the only one you think that's potentially going to be doing this in the future, or at least think about it?
I love the way that you're asking this. I will speak for myself. I think that it really just depends on the individual person. But I will say that $5 million is not something to just, wave your arm at. You know what I mean? So 10 weeks, roll the ball out. I don't know. I think that the Big 3 and the offer will continue to evolve, and we'll see. It would be nice if they coordinated it with the W, so it's a little bit more doable with the travel and everything like that. But at the same time, you got to start somewhere. So it's pretty cool that they're involving this and they're open to new things.
Yeah, in the traveling, if you were to put it, because we thought Caitlin was potentially the only one that this was going to take place. Now we're learning from United States of America team member representing our country.
That's right. Champion.
Our champion.
2-time.
But last time.
Yeah, 2-time last time. Spelled the name wrong on the ring last time.
Kelsey Plum, guard.
Yikes.
Guard. Kelsey Plum there. It's like, I didn't even think about other. Now, okay. I like what Ice Cube's cooking. There's some people that are pissed off about it, though. It doesn't sound like that's how like people that are potentially actually going to benefit from this are feeling about it.
I mean, you guys know how it goes. Everyone that has an attitude about it has never probably even run a business. So to me, like who is someone to, hate on someone that's trying to do something different? And that's what you have to do. You have to be innovative. You have to be different. And I appreciate him for being a leader and stepping up. And, you never know. I think that, like I said, I think time will tell how this all shakes out. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball. And we're seeing that. And the fans are seeing that. And so good things to come.
What team offered you? Which team are you playing for? Is it the...
You're so funny. I can neither confirm nor deny.
There it is. Go ahead, AJ.
I know you say you're there with USA Basketball and everything, and they have not announced the team. So how many girls are there training, and what does the training mean? What exactly does that look like?
Yeah, there's 14 women here. There's 12 spots on the roster. We've been preparing for this for years, right? So obviously Tokyo, because of COVID, was in 2021. So pretty much for the last 3 years, we've had, I don't know, maybe a dozen training camps. And there's a committee that picks the team. It's not just one person. There's a committee from all different, there's a WNBA coach, GMs, former players, people with the WNBA. And so that's how it is. It's a committee, and obviously people have different opinions. But at the end of the day, the United States takes pride in a legacy of winning gold medals, and they're going to put the best 12 on the roster to help our country win a medal.
How old were you when you first were in the pool?
Oh, I was 21 when I was first in the pool.
Wow. That's a big deal, I assume, whenever you get that invite, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a kid, like, this is the pinnacle, right? This is what you dream of. This is the best team in the world. And there's a lot of people that have played before you that have really paved the way. And that's another thing, too, which is really cool to see about all this and how the visibility is growing. Because there's so many women that didn't get to reap the benefits of what we're seeing right now. But I always try to acknowledge them, because without them, building the game, growing the game, passing their knowledge down, things like that, you guys know, as former players.
Yeah. Happened in the NFL.
It matters, man. The vets, the leadership, it really does matter.
Yeah, and those OGs in the NFL also are saying, these guys are making in 1 week what I made in 5 years.
Yeah.
And they got 3 new knees, 2 new hips, smoking cigs, and have had to work 10 jobs since retiring. But they're like, yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor to lay the foundation.
Yep.
It was an honor. That's legit. That happens at our. Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah. It's only going to as things continue to grow. That's kind of how it's going to go. Speaking of international, though, Ty's got a question for you.
Yeah, staying on the Olympics, Kelsey. Obviously, listen, I know they haven't released the team yet. We can cut through all the bullshit. You will be on the team.
Congratulations.
Okay? You will be in Paris.
Thank you for representing our country.
Sailing down the Seine for the opening ceremonies. But I'm just curious, when we talk about the men's game, like the international rules, I mean, it's the same game, obviously, but it is a little bit different. Ball is a little bit different. And we talked about last Olympics, how like the physicality kind of came back to the NBA after the Olympics. Is there a big change with like the WNBA rules and international rules for women's basketball? And also, when you do make the team, like, is there any concern about like transitioning back to the WNBA in season after the Olympics are over?
Brother, that's a great question. I really
like
appreciate you asking that.
Hey, Kelsey.
So
you complimenting the questions is next level.
Yeah,
we need that.
The aura.
It's like the final boss.
Yeah, it is, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
You
you
sound
for
like
your
the
mana.
It is. It is good mana.
Yeah.
It is
Great
good
mana.
mana. It is good mana.
Well, I just appreciate you guys doing your homework. You know, it's not just some like, hey, off the rip, let's go, man. You guys real journalism, man. Let's go.
You know it. Yeah, we've been journalizing so hard, dude. You should have seen Dahn. Anyways.
She missed it.
Yeah, we're going to get canceled today. Anyways, go ahead, Kelsey.
Again?
I will tell you that the game is actually very different. First and foremost, in the NBA, there's defensive 3 seconds. So you can't camp in the lane, which changes the spacing of everything, right? So in the international rules, if you watch, people just sit in the key. And so you're able to have better ball pressure. You're able to be a lot more physical on the ball, which makes getting downhill a lot more difficult, which makes people not have to rotate as much, which makes the shots a lot harder. So if you see in the NBA, people are shooting wide open horse shots because there's no defensive 3 seconds. Or excuse me, there is defensive 3 seconds. So that changes internationally significantly. And the other thing is, too, is like you said, the physicality. NBA and WNBA, more so NBA, you can't be super physical on the ball, 2 hands and stuff. In the other countries in the Olympics, they basically let you play football on the ball. So you do have to significantly adjust.
So we have an
and
advantage.
It does change.
So USA has an advantage, obviously, because we're the best football place on earth.
Yeah, by far.
Right?
I like how you think.
Let's move.
But people
going.
aren't used to it, though. People aren't used to that type of physicality. Yeah, exactly. But to answer your question, transitioning back to the W, if anything, it's brutal because we play our last game, and we have like 1 day, and then we're supposed to play
the
next day. In the W.
Fever? Are you playing the Fever the next day?
Lost.
That doesn't seem like enough rest time there, especially whenever the international game seems to be much more physical and probably tasking, and you're representing our country. And you're representing our country. It doesn't feel like that's the right play. When you talk about physicality, who are the other teams around the world that we need to? We just got to beat everybody, right?
Yeah, we'll beat everybody by 50.
We beat everybody.
Canada? How's Canada? They good?
So bad.
Canada sucks.
They blow.
Come on, go.
Canada men's team is phenomenal. You see the guys on that team? Shai Gilgeous, Alexander,
Shai Gilly, brother.
RJ Barrett. They're really good.
Now's our time to be doing this.
Who
cares? USA.
Yeah, who gives
We got
a shit?
We're trying to win this thing.
Listen, we're the United States. We're going to get everybody's best game. So it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's going to be a tough game. People are going to make shots they don't usually make. Like, they play basketball, too.
Just not anywhere near as well as we do.
Yeah,
communist basketball, maybe.
So how
USA. All right, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Kelsey, obviously your transition from college to the W was...
Yeah, is that what we're calling it? The W? We call it the W?
We're calling it the W.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
we're
W.
throwing up dubs. Okay. All right, don't eat those. Jameis Winston once did that in a motivational speech. It did not work.
No.
Kind of fell.
They lost.
W fell down on the ground. But I love that it's the W. We knew that because we're season ticket holders.
We were talking to Elle the other day about the dub.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah.
And we support the WNBA.
Yeah.
Always.
The biggest investment we could potentially make as a fan, we did.
We did. Bingo.
Courtside season ticket.
Every single game.
Wow. Look at us.
Can't wait.
We love the W.
Yes, we do.
You're doing the Lord's work. Wow, doing the Lord's work. Here we go.
You guys are out there doing it.
Truly.
But we're trying our best to help. Anyways, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, obviously your transition was seamless. We know it was. But how is it like, so you talked about going from the WNBA season, going to Istanbul, how tired you are. Is it similar when you go to college to the WNBA season because there's barely any break there? And then as far as like the game go, what's the hardest part as far as going from college to the W?
Oh, man. I got cooked my rookie year.
What? You sucked?
I sucked. I got put in the blender.
No, we don't believe that.
Yeah.
No way.
Brutal.
No, I don't.
Brutal. Absolutely.
You were all rookie team.
Yeah,
all rookie
First
team.
You were all rookie team. I watched. It was seamless.
Yeah, what you did with the ball against those people.
Those shots.
Oh, my God. You put shots up, ball fell, everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah, Steph Curry. Basically.
That's what we're talking about. We saw it. You didn't get cooked. You're being a little hard on yourself, I think.
Well, you have to think about it. To be the best player in college, you're averaging 30 points a game. It's pretty effortless in terms of like being able to get to the spots you want to get to. The WNBA, there's grown women. It's a grown women's league. Just the physicality and the speed of which people close gaps is night and day from college. Also, the IQ is just so much higher. So to answer your question, for me to be able to be more of like an all-star level player, it took me 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years? What do you mean? Because Caitlin Clark's going to win.
Yeah, she's going to come in and be the MVP.
Yeah, we don't have 4 or 5 years. We're season ticket holders next year.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think you're fully. I don't think you're fully.
I think that Caitlin. What people don't talk about is mentally, she's an absolute beast. So I think that is going to help her more than anything. Because it's not if you fail, it's when you fail and how able your bounce back, your resilience.
Yeah.
So Caitlin will be great. She can shoot it from deep, and she can pass. All those things will really, really help her at the next level. But don't get me wrong, there's always a transition period.
I've heard, just birdie in my ear. Okay.
Talk to me.
Basketball Insider.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh,
really?
Basketball Insider through Zito's phone. Through Zito's mouth into that microphone somehow, which we don't understand.
No, yeah.
How's that work?
Yeah, I mean airplanes.
I have no airplanes flying. How does that work?
Yeah, let alone mic back.
I have no clue how.
FaceTime.
It's so clear.
Internet.
Satellite somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, came through here, through this thing, right into here.
That's weird.
I didn't know you wanted to be a part of the WNBA, NBA three-point shoot, maybe? Sham Sharania just told us to ask about that because that's seemingly gaining traction because of the success it had this past season with Steph and Sabrina. Are we going to make that a thing, All-Star Weekend? Because we did see basically your entire team was there.
Yes.
It feels like it's a big NBA family, the W family kind of gathering. It would make sense to make that bigger. Is that true, what Sham Sharania is saying, or is he lying again like it's the draft?
Yeah, Sean, I think he pulled that out of thin air, but...
Oh, Sean!
I love you. We don't know your... we don't know like who you're citing, your sources, but I will say that I think that they saw how entertaining that was. And Sabrina is one of the best shooters in the world. She can hold her own against anybody, man or woman. So I do think that we have a lot of really good shooters in the W. I would not be surprised if we did a little bit more of like a mixed group, maybe like 5 players from the W, 5 players from the NBA. I think it'd be really cool. But that's the first, to be honest, I think, Pat, I'll give you credit. Let's give Pat some credit. He just made that up.
Sean
made that up.
We did the whole thing.
Sean did, yeah.
I didn't know if it was real. That's why I am very okay not getting credit for things. Believe me. I say a lot of things into here. I'm okay not getting credit for stuff. That was from Sean Sharania.
Yeah.
That was
Sean has never done that.
Known insider.
Sean has never just dropped in the middle of conversation. He wants a little Kelsey Plum Rob.
Yeah, what's Sean's
Yeah,
deal
what's
today?
Sean Sharania out there cooking.
Sean.
But I like the fact that you enjoy the concept of it. And if they're going to do it, Adam Silver, let's give $1 million to each person
Yes.
on the winning team.
There you go.
Right? If this three-point shooting contest. Right?
Whew.
I mean, shoot, I love it. Let's do that.
Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Kelsey, we have a few friends that have torn their Achilles over the last year or so. I believe you tore yours 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you've been on a tear ever since you got it recovered. You have recovered and you've been out there still killing it. What was that recovery like, and how does it still feel now to this day?
Oh man, that was a blessing from God. It was like I got to start over. I kind of like got to start from scratch. And I changed everything. Obviously my physical makeup, but then also just mentally and spiritually, just be able to be realigned and just kind of attack it from the jump. Now I was blessed to be able to do it during COVID when life kind of stopped. I didn't really miss much. But I like, to this day, when people get hurt, I always encourage them and say, hey, this will be the best thing for you if you allow it to be. And so even when Aaron tore it, I was almost like, hey, man, like this guy's going to come back and he's going to do great things. Now, I don't know what they're doing with him. Did he get a kangaroo Achilles or something?
Whoa.
Like, I didn't have that type of...
Did he?
I didn't have that type of...
Well, you're breaking news now. Who's your source? Is that Sean Sharani?
Yeah.
Is that Sean Sharani telling you we're going... with marsupial?
Yeah, did Sean tell you that? What the
Yeah,
hell?
what?
They take a kangaroo.
Are you just making that up? Let's give her credit. Let's give Kelsey credit. She's made it up. She's made it up out of thin air there. Okay, let's talk about the Final Four here. That's going to be taking place. Feels like all the stars are still around. When you watch that South Carolina team, what do you see? Whenever you watch the Iowa team, what do you see? Like, what are your thoughts on how we're going forward here this weekend as we watch a thrilling Final Four once again for the Women's March Madness?
South Carolina has depth, and they rebound the ball at such a high level. I don't see them losing games just because they can have an off shooting night, but they make up for it defensively and the way they control the board. So I would have to say overall it might be South Carolina, but this is when great players just step up to the plate, and we have a ton of great players. NC State has 2 guards that are pro ready right now. They're absolute beasts. And then of course, Iowa, you guys know. I don't need to say anything about them.
You talking about the Indiana Fever? You talking about the Indiana Fever?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But,
I thought so.
But UConn is somebody that's just resilient, and they got a great game plan and scheme. And Paige is the real deal. Paige is the real deal, and she's ready for this moment. So to be honest, I think we're going to get 2 really good games, guys.
That's awesome. The March Madness, the women's March Madness, the last 2 years has been fantastic.
Incredible.
Now, granted, we've watched for
years and years.
I'm 36.
Decades,
so
yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
So we know what we're talking about when we talk about it, especially whenever it comes about this particular thing.
Amen.
But we do appreciate you coming in here and maybe enlightening us on some things.
Clarifying what we know.
Yeah, what we already are
saying.
reaffirming our thoughts.
Triple stamp and a double stamp.
Exactly.
Yeah, making us feel like we've been right all along,
Yeah.
which we appreciate.
Which we have.
Yeah. What's the rest of the day look like?
Rest of the day, guys, I'm about to take a good nap, then get up and go socialize.
Nice. You go shake those hands, Kelsey.
I'll go shake those hands.
You're a champion, but for how much longer?
I mean, I guess 4, 5, 6 months, and then that's all she wrote for the Aces.
Oh, then there's a fever.
Yeah.
In the only prescription.
It's Caitlin Clark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kelsey Plum, thank you. All right, I think that does it. Pretty good show today.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so is Caitlin on? She's on the Olympic team, right?
So I think she was supposed to be.
So that's probably why it's May. That
She
they
will,
don't make
yeah.
the selection still because the season ends on.
I was wondering,
Sunday.
are they in? It was a really dumb thought for a second. Are they in Cleveland because?
Yes, I assume that they have the training camp around.
But there's no
events.
way those schools are letting Paige and Caitlin.
No.
Caitlin said she said if they wouldn't have made the Final Four, she would have went to the training camp.
So, and I think what it is, just from what we learned at the All-Star game, the celebrity game, which we were there for 45 minutes, so we got it all figured out.
Oh, yeah.
It was really
a
fun.
great time.
Which is a big thing, that our show does. We walk in, we're there for 15, 20 minutes. We got this place figured out. We're out of here.
See you later.
Now we're going to talk as if we do know, but we had a pretty good feeling. The NBA utilizes the All-Star break as a Super Bowl, because they don't have a Super Bowl because they have a 7-game series. So, Game 4, if it's 3-0, could be viewed as like Super Bowl, but you don't know what it's going to be. So the All-Star break is kind of like when all the companies that would come for the Super Bowl, all the NFL partners come for all the NBA partners come, the WNBA's there. There's a lot of appearances like Kelsey and Jackie and Chelsea, which I knew.
Yeah.
They were incredible. I watched them win championships.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Great
that whole
players.
thing. But they were making appearances at companies, getting paid for these things. And it's like, oh, this is your Super Bowl. They're like, yeah. So anytime there's like an event where basketball is happening, I think it is utilized as like almost like a bird call. Like, hey, here we go.
Come together.
So like the training camp being there, I assume it's not just because the training camp's there, the Final Four's there. I assume there's a lot of businesses there. I assume there's a lot of, I assume like it is a full-on, almost like a convention. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, it's cool how they do that. I guess when they're all in one place. Also, I would imagine maybe who's coaching the women's team. Do we know?
We know.
And who's coaching the men's basketball team?
We know. Yeah, we know.
That is a good question.
We've been paying attention to that.
Was it Steve Kerr?
Yeah. Steve Kerr definitely
Gino?
out there and winning the gold medal. Then Braun put a tweet out and said, "I won't play on Team USA."
Yeah, everyone's playing this year. Braun,
So it's
KD.
Cheryl Reeve who's coaching the WNBA, like we said, this entire time, and the men's team who's coaching the team that LeBron. It is Steve Kerr, like you said, the entire time.
Like we knew.
Yeah,
just like we fucking said it would.
Krzyzewski's still part of it.
He retired.
He retired from
He's doing sit-down interviews.
But I think Boeheim still is. Calhoun.
James.
Mm-hmm. A couple
was
of
a hell
those
of a ball coach up there.
Yeah,
he was.
I think Gino is too.
He was definitely part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still is.
What about Bob Huggins?
Huggy Bear was, and then
he goes to the mixers for sure.
Yeah.
Not anymore. 300 days, brother.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
286
Not
days
counting
ago.
the days he got a DUI and all that kind of stuff.
Aside from that.
Leave those off the record.
Aside from that last
That had to be fake.
Those
That all
ones
had to
don't
be fake.
count. I hope
That had
so.
to be Donnie Don.
I don't think it was.
That had to be fake. Had to be. Did you see that?
He's a hell of a coach.
Yes,
He was a hell of a ball coach.
Yes.
He's a hell of a ball coach.
It's a big deal that he's 300 days sober.
He's not.
He's close.
He's trying.
We don't know if he ever proclaimed that he was.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
This could
Might
be,
just be
you
that
know what I
guy.
mean? We don't know. He looks thin. He looks good.
He does.
Looks energized. Sometimes you need to, experience some things so you can bounce back. What's West Virginia going to do? Do we have a coach?
Yeah, I told you they're good. They got DeVries from Drake.
yeah,
He's got
we got the kid.
conference player of the year. His son's coming with him. Yeah.
Maybe the DeVries guy.
Which conference was he in?
Is that his name?
Missouri Valley. He had
Also,
DeVries. His
School was Drake,
yeah,
not
Drake.
DeVries.
Yeah, he won
Correct.
Conference Player of the Year over Cream.
he did.
The kid's coming to West Virginia?
Yeah.
He's better than Rob Wave?
He was conference player of the year.
So, yes.
It's going to be tough for me to
His
believe.
brother also played in the NFL for about 11 years.
Oh, so the family's got juice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's like, you're getting Drake May.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And Bob Wave.
Buy in now. That's why Gordon Gee's like, hey, can we get a professional league? We got a team. Now football's ready to go. GG's about to run wild.
Gordon Gee's playing QB?
No,
with bow tie on.
no. Garrett Green.
Brother.
Oh,
GG.
Sure.
Sorry.
Gordon Gee, also
many
GG.
Gs. Yeah.
He's OGG.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Old GG.
He played Ohio State, too, right?
Yeah.
Bang.
Quarterback.
Hold on, that one's
He
coming
was
up.
the president at Ohio State.
Yeah, he played at Ohio State.
What do you do for you guys over there? Anything good?
Yeah, I believe so. I think people like him.
Yeah, I think people like him in West Virginia too.
Free
I don't know what
tattoo.
exactly.
I think he gave away free tattoos and stuff like that.
No, that was football players were selling stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think
Terrell Pryor.
I think Terrell Pryor got a free tattoo, too.
From Gordon Gee?
Yeah, he's the one who did it.
Sounds
Gordon did. Yeah, he is a great tattoo artist.
An artist, yeah.
I could see that because he does look like he has a creative side
He
with
does.
how he's dressed and how he operates.
That's what he majored in.
Maybe he is an artist. Wow. We got a tattoo artist as the president of West Virginia.
Pretty cool.
Multifaceted.
All right, once
Pretty
again,
cool.
have to tell people that we are not being serious.
Right.
But maybe.
Yeah.
No, but what they would do is they type that out, they put it on a thing.
Whose fault
You
is that?
believe these fucking guys?
Gordon Gee's on Ink Master.
It never
That'd be
ends.
sweet.
Tomorrow, hey, just a little heads up. If you're still watching this program right now, we'd assume you're pretty big fans of our show. We appreciate you. You know, just with all the shits.
Yep.
Thank you for keeping up with all the shits. Tomorrow's going to be one of the most ridiculous shows we've ever had.
It's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah.
There's 52. Okay, there's 52,000 right now, which is obviously a number that is absurd for what we are currently doing. Tomorrow is going to be absurd. Yeah, just absolutely absurd.
Can't wait.
I don't know. WrestleMania starts tomorrow.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It does.
WrestleMania starts tomorrow, and Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, who I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, massive.
I'm excited to see the interaction between our show and him.
Me too.
Especially with what The Rock did. The Rock people don't remember when he showed up in Colorado for us.
Yeah.
And then let me do a people's elbow on Austin Theory right there with him.
That was awesome.
Yeah, highest rated show we had for the entire first quarter or whatever. And then Roman Reigns flies through a blizzard to get to Iowa.
He did.
to do our show that was only on YouTube and ESPN Plus whenever he got on. Wasn't even on TV. Flew all the way in there. Day of having to go to Milwaukee. So whenever you talk about, like, we are grateful for our tribal chief.
Always.
We are grateful for our tribal, let alone the lights that are on inside the arenas and WWE and the $5 billion deal and everything that's happening. We are, for shoot, grateful for Roman Reigns and The Rock. And we thought that would have been a really cool thing to watch. The Rock and Roman kind of do their thing.
I wish.
But instead, Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, which he's allowed to do, and he earned. And then he gets to decide what he wants to do. We have some questions on why he just stole our dreams. You know, The Rock's talking about his dream. Cody's talking about his story. What about my dreams? I'm watching that.
Yeah.
What about that, AJ?
Broke them.
Yeah, you speak for millions of fans, don't you?
Millions.
And millions!
You mean? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You're their mouthpiece.
There's a lot of people that aren't happy that I potentially am their mouthpiece sometimes, though. And for that, I do apologize.
Let's also not forget that Money in the Bank case could come out at any time.
Damian Priest.
I know.
Send your Money in the Bank, please.
Yeah, head on the swivel.
Logan Paul's going to be there. That's going to be sweet. Very lucky that he's joining the program. Rhea Ripley, Mommy, is going to be there.
Come on.
And then kicking off the show, Triple H. So he's the one in charge of the whole thing.
The King of Kings.
It's going to be incredible.
Is Cole still going to be here?
So pumped.
Michael Cole will be guest hosting the entire time. Yes, he will be doing his.
I didn't know he got taken off the marquee.
Well, he did get taken off the marquee, which
what happened?
That's the way shit goes.
Yeah.
You see who's all up there?
Yeah, right.
The Miz silhouette's still on there, but you know it's hard to make the marquee whenever this is the lineup. And I think I can add Gunther will be joining us.
What?
2:15.
The ring general.
Ring general.
Ring general.
He's going to
Will join us at 2:15.
Let's go.
2:15.
Wants to take a chop.
Well,
JD
McDonough, they're always lingering.
Yeah, they'll be around.
He's playing
probably.
darts.
He might be playing darts. You're right.
Ripping darts
Oh no.
with the lows with the.
I haven't made a shot 3 days, 4 days, boys. Ball's not falling.
You're due. No, you're due.
Pass it to you.
Because it's Mania season.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Mania week.
Not a lot
if you shot for a single leg on the golf cart thing, you probably. I mean, you'd fly.
You're right.
Give it a shot.
Suplex.
I completely forgot about that. That used to be one of my moves. People don't know this. If I would see somebody who is a prolific wrestler or fighter, before even introducing myself, fake shoot for a single leg.
Yep, brother. Yep.
Yeah.
Before even meeting these people.
They love that.
That's aggressive. That's an aggressive move.
And then I don't get all the way in there because, you know, if you get too close, they actually kill you.
They'll turn it on.
They knee you right in the face.
Yeah, but then I stand up and go, could have fucking had you. Could have fucking had you on your back right there. I'm Pat. Nice to meet you, man. Great to see you. Thank you for coming here. I just saw Travis Brown commented on something we posted on Instagram, and it reminded me, like, literally, he's holding like a baby in the back of a WWE show, and I knew who he was. Obviously, this fucking huge guy, and I seen him in UFC. He's got the cauliflower, the whole thing. And as he's holding baby, I go, and could have fucking both of you.
Yeah,
both of you. I said both of you.
It's the attitude, dude. I could have had you. Could have had. Like that's the thing.
I get such a big pot. Like because these humans could kill me. All of them.
Yeah, of course.
And I assume that they know that I know that. But I also like the thought of them and like for a moment thinking like this guy thinks.
This son of a bitch.
I've seen you do it to Corbin with boxing too.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a little boom pow.
Because he's a Golden Gloves boxer.
You're also doing them a favor though. You got to keep them on their toes.
Yeah,
you
you're
never
right.
know.
You're right. I mean, that's what I was taught from my wrestling coach in high school.
Bingo.
You know, when I was on a mat getting snake worm.
Ring.
There it is.
Snake worm.
Yeah, Baron Corbin's Golden Gloves boxer. You know, so we'll just be walking towards each other very quietly. He comes in for the hello, and I go boom, bang, bang, knocked out, down, dead, right here. Yeah, if it had to happen, he's like, "Oh, you're an idiot, dude." I'm like, "You're dead."
Yeah. Stop talking.
You just got CTE. Right
Yeah.
now. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing
Yes,
it
he
in
is.
NXT. They're letting him. He's being like
cool.
He's being like himself. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Good to see.
Him and my guy. You know my guy.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I would pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to watch that guy run the ropes.
How about hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, sweet. I mean, we can make this happen, I think. That is certainly a bookable thing.
Yeah, tickets
If you
are-
pay $200,000, I think Braun Breaker would run the ropes for you.
Well, it's the thing.
We get it right out here.
Yeah.
You see, the thing about my bank account is I get paid on different days, and it which wouldn't.
What day is it? It's April 4th. Just got paid, right?
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
I didn't.
You didn't see it? Well, that seems like there might be something wrong with the system.
Yeah.
Is
I have
everything okay?
I have an overdraft thing that won't let me do that.
Overdraft. Oh, okay. He does hit those ropes.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
He's explosive.
Yes, he is. He's a big son of a bitch.
Who else? Who was Madcap?
Yeah.
He used to hit the ropes.
Hard.
Mike, he used to hit it real bad, real hard, like real hard. I couldn't even imagine how much that would hurt my back. When you're watching the wrestling too, remember everything hurts.
Yes.
Like everything hurts. The ropes hurt. The mat hurts. The chairs hurt.
The tables.
The tables hurt.
Kill.
The ground hurts.
Yeah.
The hurts. I think there's some people. No, it's not real. It's
fake belt.
Everything is much higher than it looks on TV as well. The ring, when you're on top of the turnbuckle, all of that it's much scarier to look at it in person. I'd never even think about trying it.
And then just think just one little slip too. It's like
Ricochet's there.
You got to trust the other people too.
Yeah, bingo. What's that?
Remember when you took that kendo stick at that watch party?
Yeah.
Watch along?
Yeah.
What-
Matt
what?
Hardy.
The Hardy brothers.
Asshole.
Those lunatics.
I mean, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy have been very good to our program.
Love them.
And I am, a big fan of what they do. Baron Corbin comes walking into a watch-along, I don't know, 2018, I guess, 2017, who knows what year that is, comes into a watch-along, which is in the back of a premium live event.
Sure. Of course.
Not a pay-per-view, a premium live event. And I'm hosting this watch-along. Baron Corbin comes walking in with a kendo stick. I'm like, what's this asshole doing? And he goes, oh, you think it's all so easy. And I'm like, all right, good entertainment here. Let me take one of these. Let me take one of these kendo sticks. Can't be that bad, you know? Then Matt Hardy jacks it off of him. Matt Hardy, old school.
Oh, yeah. Earn your stripes.
Then what?
He
jacks it off.
Rips
of him.
his hand.
He jacks it off of him. Yes. Of course. Of course.
He took it out of his hands.
Yeah.
He said, let me do this.
Different thing.
Let me, and there's the welts the next day.
Dang.
Yeah, that was the next day.
Didn't they wrestle in our office?
Yeah,
We do it in Singapore.
We went off the
graffiti.
top ropes into the trampoline form and had our faces painted. And whatnot.
We went off a ladder.
Yes, ladders.
We went off the top of a ladder
onto a
into a
trampoline.
trampoline, and he scored our
Yes.
swanton bomb, which I would later go on to use.
That's right.
Yes.
A few different times.
Just a little flavor to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when the ground broke your fall?
Oh, yeah, off the top of the cage. How many years ago was that?
And toe.
I mean,
That was COVID, right?
we've been very lucky, yeah. And
That was War Games.
That was
21,
guys.
20.
that's what,
Because that was
I appreciate the internet wrestling community being like, so Pat McAfee deserves to be in a game, and then his friends deserve to be in a game. It's like, hey, we understand that we can't be around since we're like 18 at this stage, but I feel like we've tried our best. We love that business. I love that business.
the best.
I absolutely love it. Anything we're allowed to do, we try to do. But this was a bad idea. Yeah, Baron Corbin laughing on the side with his big dumb head. Adam Cole's in there somewhere, probably being a piece of shit.
Why'd you pull your shirt up?
I didn't. Dana Brooke did.
Hey, hold on.
Sam Roberts still has hair.
Head down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know Matt at that point as well as I knew Baron.
That hurt me.
Hold on, though. Be a professional,
He
Pat.
hit you hard.
Congrats to Alistair Black.
Alistair Black just won a match. Alistair Black just won a match. They went to the finish while that was happening, so the complete opposite of what a watch-along's supposed to be.
Sure.
You're distracting from the actual match. It's good. It's good, yeah. That was fun to host those. That was a blast. Jesus Christ. That hurt so bad.
Yeah, look, I bet. You
I
can
forgot
hear
about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's an immediate. Yeah. Everybody's real pumped about it. Look at Sam Roberts' fucking face. Hey, Sam. Why are you so happy? Sam Roberts.
Come on.
Lord of the Marks.
Yes, he is.
He is.
Is that what they call
There's
us?
nothing wrong with it, but yeah, he is.
It should be a wild weekend. Final Four and WrestleMania.
Can't
be awesome.
We're very, very lucky, very, very thankful. Tomorrow's show is going to be the dumbest we've ever had.
Pumped.
Like, that's what I'm predicting. That is.
Absolutely.
Because with Triple H, it's like the amount of questions you can talk to him about ideas.
Uh-huh.
You know, hey, you ever think about.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
And then.
You guys should kill JD.
Hear me out.
You know, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. And then just the amplification of everything there, because the entire wrestling community descends upon the city in which WrestleMania is. And with what CM Punk just did at Ariel Hawani's, and then AEW last night, I didn't get a chance to see the entire show, but I saw a bunch of clips. They all responded. Every one of them responded to CM Punk. And then now everybody's kind of coming into one. I mean,
into Philly,
yeah,
not just one
Philadelphia.
city. Yeah, Philadelphia.
It's gonna be electrifying. We're very lucky to kind of be a part of it.
Grateful.
Yeah, let's enjoy that. Good luck to Indiana State tonight.
Good luck. Go get him, Cream.
Come on, buddy.
Fandango coming on?
I don't think Fandango is on WWE, but he might be wrestling somewhere.
Yeah.
I assume he's in somewhere. I assume he's
Don't
wrestling.
they usually have like other shows going on around?
Yeah, like tonight at midnight, I think there's a show that's taking place somewhere, and then there'll be shows kind of all day. Yeah, I mean, we could potentially make it, but like, yeah, every promotion is trying to get something done this weekend because everybody's there. You know, all the wrestling fans that spend money on tickets, well, they're already there. So, like, if we put on a show that is kind of alongside of it, that's good business.
Right now, someone is getting mentally prepared to go through 16 halogen light bulbs in a sheet of barbed wire in a gymnasium.
Tonight.
His name is Super Hummin.
Yeah.
Well, Super Hellman, I don't know if he got booked this weekend. He should be. But to add on to your point, somebody is preparing to also give like 7 Canadian destroyers in one match to somebody and still lose. And to them, we appreciate it.
Well, it's all back.
And we love them.
And that's why we love them.
And that's why we love them. All right. Let's have an incredible weekend. We'll start it off tomorrow. Thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Big shout out to PK Subban, not Pick Subban.
PK Subban.
Yeah, I don't know why you're looking at me.
Dwight Freeney stopped by. That's amazing. Kelsey Plum, thank you for the chatter. And before we get out of here, breaking news. Kyle Van Noy has signed a 2-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. He's back. He's back.
The baby Keith. Boy, Keith.
Here we go, Keith.
Last year, we got a chance to chat with KVN a few times, both before he was signed to a team and then after he was signed to the Baltimore Ravens. He seemingly loved the culture, loved the team, loved everything about being a Raven quickly. Now he will have another 2 years as doing as such. He had a great season for them. I think he made a lot of big plays late, too, which I think a lot of Ravens fans, kind of got endeared to the Mormon monster.
Hell yeah.
Kyle Van Noy. And we'd like to say congrats, Kyle. Keep it going,
Way to
baby.
go, Kyle.
He deserves it. We like Kyle. I like Kyle a lot.
Love Kyle. Kyle's the man. Great personality. Still a great player, too. So good for him, too, getting a 2-year deal.
And he enjoys, like giving back to the game, I think. Like, in the locker room, a big part of it is, like, giving back.
Yeah.
He's been there for a lot of shit.
He's always smiling. Yeah. He's always smiling. Like, think about him in the locker room. He's always smiling. He's always, like, he always seems to be in a good mood and always, like, getting better. Yeah, just a great teammate.
Great teammate. OG, too. So he's been there, done that, has won. So it's like, guy knows shit.
Won and, like, lost. Like, his career started in Detroit, and he was a second-round pick, and it didn't get off to the way it started. He wanted it to start. He's talked about it here. And then to be able to go win 2 Super Bowls and then kind of go through, like, the Miami, kind of feel a little betrayed by what happened in Miami, get cut, and then you go back to New England, bounce around the Chargers, and then finding, like, hopefully his final home in Baltimore.
Congrats, Kyle.
Hey, baby Kyle.
Unreal.
Great player. Great player. All right, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life, even if that friend shit their pants on national TV this week.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Everybody say nice stuff to Dan.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
Please. He needs it.
Don't even talk about it.
Well,
At pickup games, you don't have to ask him, like, hey, is there still poop in your pants?
yeah. I agree. But maybe people should, like, say nice stuff to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, hey,
Like, hey, your fart wasn't terrible.
it's okay. We all fart. You should have heard the fart I had this morning.
Yeah. Bet your farts
Some
smell
old
great.
grandma in the grocery store comes up to him.
What they were saying. Somewhere. I farted. Go ahead.
Are we going to see him this weekend?
Is he going to WrestleMania?
I thought he said that somewhere.
Yeah, let's find out.
He did.
Isn't his wife from Philly?
Invited him.
Yeah, remember he was angling for the Philadelphia job, a lot of people were saying. Remember when he was on TV saying, like, well, they need to do this, they need to do that. And everybody's like, hey, Dan, we know what you're doing. And Dan said, I'm just trying to break down ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, knowing Dan, he probably is a Cody crybaby, so he'll be there.
Is.
No, he was.
Remember, he said his sons are all bloodline.
Yeah.
His sons, exactly. Because his sons probably get it. Yeah.
Well, they definitely do. You saw him. And then there was that one deep voice kid.
Yeah. Hey.
Who was that?
I don't know. Dan's 27-year-old son, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, Dan's not answering
his
now. Too much, he says.
Yeah.
Man.
What's this all about? I called somebody this morning that an answer was expected. Called back in 2 minutes.
He might not.
Dan's not going to do that.
Yeah, he might be done with it.
He won't.
Son of a bitch.
He might be in the bathroom.
Good chance.
Might be dumping.
Eagles and left tackle Jordan Mailata reached an agreement on a 3-year, $66 million extension that includes $48 million guaranteed and a $20 million signing bonus per sources via Adam Schefter. Hey, congratulations,
Jordan.
Former rugby guy didn't even play football.
No, he didn't.
First year, everybody in Philly's making fun of him. Oh, this accountant signing a damn rugby player to protect Carson Wentz, I believe is who it was.
Yep.
And then now look at him, one of the greatest offensive linemen in the league. Congrats to him. What a beautiful story.
Boy.
That's a beautiful American football story.
It is.
Truly.
And we were talking the other day how many rugby guys have worked. We never.
Yeah.
That's on us. We need to remember this.
Mm-hmm. Mailata, he's the
guy.
He's the first one.
Maybe this Wales kid from Wales.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ruiz
Massit.
Luis Zamet.
Reese Zamet. We were so.
He's from Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Not Ireland.
No.
Definitely not England.
No.
The other one.
Not even Scotland.
Nope.
Or Northern Ireland.
The UK.
He's a Welshman.
He's from Wales. Do they speak Welsh? Yeah. Welsh?
I'm pretty sure it's, I could be wrong, but I believe it's English, but it's just like the accent is much different.
I pissed off the entire country the other day when I said he was from Ireland.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. That was,
yeah, bingo.
That was certainly a thing. Because I knew I'd be able to make it right.
Sure.
But my answer to them, the Welsh people, was like, I didn't fucking know this guy exists. Yeah. Okay,
come on.
I am so sorry. I should. This guy's running a 4.4.
Yeah,
he's a dog.
This guy's an absolute dog. I can't wait to see if it works out. But it's not that I didn't know your country didn't exist, which a lot of people were telling me I'm a dumb American. I didn't even know Wales was a country.
Oh.
Well, Wales is definitely an animal in the sea, big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With an
Wales is, I thought, a city, but it is a country.
Fucking tiny. It's like smaller than Rhode Island.
Country that didn't make the Euros.
Oh, what?
No, they didn't.
They didn't make the Europes?
That's because Gareth is done.
They don't have Gareth Bale.
I remember Gareth Bale. He was a dog.
Yeah, lefty.
And I do think FIFA probably is the thing that introduced a lot of people to a lot of countries.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely is.
Yeah. So back in the day, maybe nobody would have known Wales existed, but we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We knew. We couldn't point it out on a map if we fucking tried.
No chance.
But now that I know it's smaller than Rhode Island, I could probably guess.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I'm pretty sure it's small.
So we're still making stuff up.
Nah, it's small.
It's small.
Where is it? It's east of England?
They're all part of the UK Northeast, right?
Hey, she's alive, right? We all.
Kate?
Yeah. Good luck with the treatment.
Yes.
I was on news last night.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it on news last. 20 years in stardom. She's been in the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's obviously battling.
What's that?
Well, you were one of the ones that maybe should
say
acknowledge.
Yeah. Who? I always do.
I acknowledge her bloodline. I'm happy she's, well, I'm not happy she's going through cancer.
Right.
But I think are happy she's not, well, a lot of people said was potentially happening.
Yeah. Hole in the head in some ditch somewhere.
Those are
some people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things being said on the internet.
I didn't say that.
The internet was going real quick, real fast, real far.
No, I wasn't.
Connor was reading it all, though. His algae was like, wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. I'd walk in here, there'd be a new thing that potentially happened to the Duchess of Wales.
Wait to hear what's going to happen Monday.
Is she from Wales?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Is that?
Is it Essex?
I think she's Sussex.
Sussex? There it is.
Who's? All right. Anyways, happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was official. I thought it is. This morning news. I saw it all. The Today Show.
Oh, yeah.
She is the Princess of Wales.
So she's from Wales.
Why is Con Man so quiet?
He's biting his tongue over there. Cack out your tongue, Connor?
No, not at all. I completely agree with what you're saying.
Let's get to a break.
She's alive.
We're back tomorrow. Congrats to Jordan. Congrats to Kyle Van Noy. Congrats to Team USA working in Cleveland.
Right.
Congrats to Dwight Freeney being in the Hall of Fame, playing more golf. He plays a lot of golf.
Yeah.
You say he's terrible.
Yeah, I've had a feeling he's sandbagging.
I was going to say, I think that's shit.
Yeah. Well, it's you can feel you're terrible too, depending upon where,
Yeah, if he plays every day and he's shooting like 85, maybe 83, like that might be terrible.
Yeah, but who are you playing with?
True.
Because he might be playing with really good golfers. So then you're like, I suck at golf, compared to who? Us or the people you play golf with every single day.
Relative.
So today, we do have to make an announcement. We do. We thought it was Big Perk Thursday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sure did.
We thought it was Big Perk Mania Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I actually said something to him yesterday. Just hey.
So pumped.
Motherfucker.
So pumped for Big Perk Mania Thursday.
Celtics clinched the 1 seed.
We learned yesterday that his schedule had changed and it was going to be difficult for him to make it out here on Thursday. Because my original thought was this Thursday, and then it was like, no, like there's been a change in schedule. So we don't know what Big Perk Thursday looks like in the future, but we do know that one time out of the 3 weeks.
We'll always have that one time.
It was awesome.
It was so fun.
We love you, Perk.
Love you, Perk.
Love you, Perk. Hopefully we'll be able to make something happen in the future. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So good.
He's awesome. He gets it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I was so happy. And then the schedule changed. Like, who's making the schedule? Who's doing the...
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be a... Well, then we hear from... I mean, nonetheless. Yeah. Hey, Perk, we love you, buddy.
Love you, Perk.
He was great.
Yes, he was.
Perfect.
Seriously, fit in right away, and that never happens.
Yeah, I'm looking over at him right now. He's on TV. I think that's the schedule that changed.
It probably might be.
Could be.
Yeah, there's something else going on. Okay. There he is. Look, he's still here with us, kind of.
What show is he on right now?
NBA Today.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, Perk looks good.
He does look good.
There he is, too.
He's in L.A. with Wendy.
We're going to miss him.
Yep.
We're bummed out.
Very bummed out.
Know that we were bummed out.
Bummed out.
And it was not on our side. We met with, what? Kind of heartbreak.
Yeah.
For sure.
But for Perk, it's going to be good, I assume. His agent, said it's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, Perk.
Love you, Perk. Miss you, Perk. Can't wait to watch you on TV, Perk. We'll continue to do so. Speaking of, we'll be on TV tomorrow with the most absurd show we've ever put together. Hopefully you'll join us. From all of us to all of you, you're the nicest people on earth. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.